Chapter 34. We accidentally discovered a demon's base in a valley about 10 miles away from here. There are also cultivation cabins used by the demons to cultivate biochemical demon soldiers, as well as videos of the demons' experiments. I've been looking for you for a year, and I've finally found you. The other party's eyes narrowed slightly, and he said faintly, "Hello, I'm Ren Xingwu, the commander of the 3rd Battalion of the Star Warrior Special Forces Brigade of the Southeast Military Region. Thank you for the information. Please take us to the demon's secret base to investigate." "No problem, but my companions are injured." Wang Lan put Jiang Xinyu down and pointed at Su Xiangwen and Gong Feiyu. "Lan Zi, I'll take them. You take Xinyu to Takashi Hoshi's base?" Su Xiangwen said seriously. "Lao Su, you're injured too." "Let me do it," Gong Feiyu quickly said. "Don't give me that. You guys are the same. At least I have the ability to heal myself." "That's settled." Jiang Xinyu wanted to say something, but in the end, she swallowed her words. Wang Lan was indeed the only one in good condition among the three, but Wang Lan's injuries were all fatal. He fought the toughest battle and suffered the most injuries, but he was the only one who recovered to full health. "In that case, Whitebeard, take them back to the base and report to the battalion commander. I'll let this little brother lead the way." "Yes." After handing Jiang Xinyu over to the soldier, Wang Lan immediately took Takashi Hoshi to the demon's secret base they discovered. "My name is Wang Lan. I'm a sophomore from Sioux City No. 1 Middle School." "I know. I've already seen your information." After running for 10 minutes, Wang Lan brought Takashi Hoshi to the valley where they killed the Inferno Leopard King. He pointed at the pit in front of them and said, "It's here. Let's go in." "Wait, be careful of an ambush. You saw it just now? The demons chased after us not long after we left the base. The demons should already know that the base has been exposed. There might be an ambush." "Little you, Scout." "Yes." A Star Warrior took a step forward and covered his right eye with one hand. The pupil of his left eye suddenly glowed white, and his eyeball was like a self-rotating globe, constantly rotating. There are no traces of demons in the base, nor are there any signs of activity. "All right, let's go in." Wang Lan took a long look at Xiaoyu. He wondered how Xiaoyu's eyesight differed from Su Xiangwen's. Wang Lan was in the middle of the 10-man team and was in a protected position. The lights in the base had been extinguished, but Wang Lan remembered that he did not turn off the power switch when he left. He came to the electric box with ease and turned on the switch. The lights in the tunnel lit up. "After we left, the demons came here. Little you, brother soldier, if you can scout, please be vigilant at all times. There may be unknown enemies hiding in the base." When Wang Lan called him brother soldier, Xiaoyu's face lit up. In his previous life, it was very easy to call a soldier brother soldier, but in this world, it was the first time this title was used. It felt inexplicably familiar and pleasing to the ear. "Little you, don't just smile. Scout carefully. The lives of our team are in your hands." "Yes." They entered the tunnel and came to the cultivation cabin area. At this moment, the doors of the dozens of cultivation cabins in front of them were open, and the biochemical demons inside had disappeared. As expected, Captain Run, these cultivation cabins were all closed before, and there were biochemical demons cultivated by the demons inside. But now, the demons have been released. At least 70 or 80 of them. This means that the demons are still in the primary training field. Or there's more than one base of demons in the primary training field. But as long as we can confirm that there is a base of demons, it will be a victory for us. Even if we have to do a carpet search, even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground, we have to dig out all these bastards. Then, Wang Lan led them to the laboratory. The central control computer had been destroyed, and even the destroyed wreckage was still crackling with sparks. "Oomph." Takashi Hoshi snorted angrily. "Investigation complete. It has been confirmed that this is a base of demons. The information from a year ago was accurate, but the demon's base was hidden too well, so we haven't been able to find it. Once the mission is complete, we will report back." "Yes, not good." Suddenly, Little Yu exclaimed. The word "not good" immediately made Wang Lan's heart jump. Frightened, Wang Lan quickly opened the system to check the cooldown time of the Phoenix form. There was less than an hour left. Damn it! What's wrong? A lot of demon soldiers appeared outside the cave entrance. Their hands are like mantis blades. They should be the 5th-generation biochemical demons that Brother Wang Lan mentioned. They came in through the cave entrance. Is there an exit behind? No, this base has been sealed, and the road behind has been blocked. Then let's kill our way out. Wait, little you, big brother soldier. The demon soldiers didn't kill each other. Kill each other? No. Why would they kill each other? That means they're demon generals. Demon soldiers are mindless killing machines that don't recognize friend or foe. If there are no demon generals controlling them, they will attack all individuals that threaten them. When two demon soldiers meet, they will definitely kill each other. Only under the control of a demon general can they become elite soldiers. Their last experiment record shows that the control of the demon soldiers failed. The demon generals and biochemical demons rioted and killed the leader of the plan, the doctor. I thought that the demon soldier plan had been put on hold, but now it seems that the demon's plan has been perfected. What do we do now? Let's kill our way out. Takashi Hoshi shouted decisively. Instantly, the team of 10 rippled with surging astral power. The powerful fluctuations of astral power indicated that all of them were at the nebulous stage, especially Takashi Hoshi, who had reached the peak of the nebulous stage. Wang Lan's eyes lit up. If Takashi Hoshi's team had such strength, they could really kill their way out. Captain Run, is the Takashi Hoshi army so strong? Of course, but not all teams are so strong. Don't forget that we are not only the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces Brigade of the Southeast Military Region, but also the Jinwu Group. The best Takashi Hoshi soldiers of the Southeast Military Region's Takashi Hoshi Army are all concentrated in the Special Forces Brigade. The Jinwu Group is the elite of the elite in the Special Forces Brigade. Although our battalion commander is only a battalion commander, he graduated from Cebu Gakuen in Shanghai and is at the Galaxy stage. The demons are causing trouble when our 3rd battalion is stationed. They are unlucky. They are coming. Guard the entrance. Old Wolf, ahoy, you guys go big. Understood. The 2 Takashi Hoshi soldiers stood at the front of the tunnel. In front of them, more than a dozen biochemical demons were charging at them ferociously. The astral power around them surged. Suddenly, Enhua spat out flames from his mouth. Old Wolf, on the other hand, spat out a gust of wind. The wind helped the flames grow stronger. Wherever the gust of wind swept, the flames instantly curled up. In an instant, the flames covered the group of biochemical demons like a carpet. The flames lasted for more than 10 seconds before the combination of Takashi Hoshi and Old Wolf finally stopped. The biochemical demons at the front were burned black, but they didn't die. With a dozen or so biochemical demons opening the way, a large number of biochemical demons behind them had already closed in. Seeing this, Wang Lan's heart sank. The biochemical demons were stronger than what was recorded in the experiment. According to the experiment, the biochemical demons were at the peak of star glory at most. They shouldn't have reached the level of Nebula, but now... Go, don't let them get close. Takashi Hoshi ordered. He took the lead and charged forward. The dozen or so biochemical demons that had been burned to the brink of death in the beginning didn't have time to finish them off. Wang Lan, who was protected at the back, looked at the biochemical demons on the ground that were almost charred. His eyes flashed. What was this? Experience points and skill points. How would he be polite? He instantly rushed out and arrived in front of a biochemical demon. He raised his saber and slashed at her head. 100 experience points. He took out the soul orb, but didn't absorb it. He quickly arrived in front of another biochemical demon and swung his saber. Although in Takashi Hoshi's eyes, Wang Lan's last hit was completely unnecessary. It was fine as long as he was happy. The biochemical demons in front of him were under great pressure. It was only after fighting them that he realized how powerful and terrifying these weapons, which were specially made for war, were. If the Takashi Hoshi army encountered them on the battlefield, it would definitely be a nightmare. The Nebula soldiers had the advantage in a one-on-one, but in a one-on-two, they were a little stretched. Takashi Hoshi's team only had 10 people, but the biochemical demons kept coming. The situation was not good. 100 experience points. 100 experience points. Wang Lan didn't know how many times he had finished them off. He also didn't know how much more experience he needed to level up. Anyway, as long as he saw them still breathing, Wang Lan didn't hesitate to finish them off. 100 experience points. With a scream, a soldier covered in blood rolled to Wang Lan's feet. Wang Lan subconsciously raised his saber. F*CK. I'm sorry. Wang Lan hurriedly stopped and killed the biohazard fiend soldier beside her. Xiaogang, how are you? F*CK. I stabbed a lung. Captain, I'm afraid I'll have to go first. I only killed 4 biochemical demons and didn't break even. What a loss. F*CKU. I'm not dead yet. You're not allowed to die. I can still hold on for a while. I've saved some star power. If I can't hold on anymore, I'll set off fireworks for you. Xiaogang, you idiot, cool off first. I'll be the first to set off fireworks. 100 experience points. Suddenly, a warm current flowed through Wang Lan's heart, and a wave of star power spread out from Wang Lan's body. In an instant, the star palace above Wang Lan's head automatically opened, and a flickering star suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Looking at Wang Lan up close, Xiao Gang's eyes widened. He panted rapidly as if he was about to stop breathing. F*CK me. At this time, you can break through in this situation. The timing of your breakthrough is too good, isn't it? There were no signs at all. Also, I didn't see you condense star power or absorb soul orbs. You're still happily finishing off the enemy. How can you break through in this situation? After breaking through Star Blazing, his star power instantly soared by several times. On the system page, the most obvious change was the sudden increase in all the basic data. The data of the blue bar instantly surged. Although the blue bar didn't grow longer, the data increased by more than 5 times. Mom doesn't have to worry about my lack of blue anymore. Chapter 35. And the benefit of leveling up was that Wang Lan's frozen skill points had reappeared. Sure enough, his previous guess was correct. Skill levels were limited by the character level. As long as the character level broke through, the upper limit of the skill level would be unlocked. Looking at the 7 or 8 skills on the skill board, all of them were pure bronze 9. 9. Just one more point, and they would all be silver skills. Wang Lan's mouth cracked into a smile, like a Shiba Inu. Cough, cough. Xiao Gang suddenly coughed, and along with the coughing, blood foam came out of his mouth. How are you? Wang Lan hurriedly asked with concern. You just broke through? From a heavenly body tier to star blazing? How did you do it? Don't you need to level up? Don't you need to accumulate power to break through the bottleneck? Don't be agitated. Don't be agitated. Your injuries are very serious. Your lungs are injured, and it's putting a lot of pressure on your breathing. Don't be agitated. Not agitated? How can I not be agitated? I've seen your information before, you brat. Awakening was at the end of June, and the Takashi Hoshi certificate was at the beginning of July. Only 3 days had passed, and by the time he applied for the Takashi Hoshi certificate, he was already at the middle stage of the star tier. Although what Wang Lan did in those 2 days was classified by the Heavenly Sword Bureau and not known to the outside world, 3 days from awakening to the middle stage of the star tier was already very scary, right? But this was scary anyway. After awakening, the heavenly body tier grew very quickly. In addition, Wang Lan was 16 years old and his strength was exploding. From the early stage of the star tier to the middle stage of the star tier, he only needed a transition period. But you've only been there for 10 days, okay? It's only been 10 days since you applied for the Takashi Hoshi certificate, and you've only been in the trial field for 6 days. You completed the transition from the heavenly body tier to star blazing in 6 days. That's too much. Those who awakened the Takashi Hoshi talent at 7 or 8 years old would at most be at the peak of star blazing at your age. He was a genius among geniuses. You awakened so late, but you only spent half a month to complete the realm that those geniuses took 5 or 6 years to achieve. Can't you have a bottom line? Genius? No, he was a monster. A monster among monsters. I'm about to meet the martyrs, and you're telling me to calm down? A genius like you shouldn't die here with us. We really shouldn't have let you lead the way. I'm not that much of a genius. Really, it was just an accident. Watching you guys kill the enemy without any regard for your own safety, my blood was stirred up, and I broke through. Hang in there, you must hang in there. Xiao Gang didn't say anything. He just raised his middle finger at Wang Lan. His blood was boiling, and he broke through in a moment of excitement. Do you think I've never experienced a breakthrough? Could breaking through a major realm just rely on excitement and passion? If this was possible, would there be anyone who would be stuck at the breakthrough point for a year and a half? Do you think breaking through is a matter of luck? Xiao Gang's bodily functions had been greatly reduced. It wasn't that he didn't want to talk, but that he couldn't. He was now waiting for the final burst of strength before rushing up to fight the biochemical soldiers. At this moment, Wang Lan had quickly finished adding points to his self-healing skill. Self-healing skill upgraded to silver level. Healing silver level 1, 0 out of 100. Sure enough, after upgrading to silver level, it required 100 skill points to upgrade a small realm. And to upgrade a skill from silver level 1 to gold level 1, it required 1,000 skill points. He glanced at the 1,000 skill points he had accumulated. He thought he was rich before, but once his skill level changed, he immediately became poor. It was only enough to add points to a silver skill. Suddenly, Wang Lan trembled. He finally noticed that his self-healing skill had become healing. Although it was only a difference of one word, the difference was like heaven and earth. Healing skill consumes star power to quickly heal your own injuries. You can also use the skill on other targets. The area covered by your palm can also be healed. Healing was an upgrade on the basis of self-healing, so the first thing was to heal your own injuries. But if you added the area covered by your palm to heal other targets, then the difference was like heaven and earth. Those who could heal themselves were called punching bags, and those who could heal others were called ancestors. In the future, there would be a bunch of people calling him Nanny. No, they should call him Daddy. Wang Lan's spirits were lifted. Her pair of green eyes stared at the dying Xiao Gang beside her. Without any hesitation, he pressed his palm on Xiao Gang's chest. Little brother, move aside. My time is up. It's time to set off fireworks. Sai, what's going on? Why is your hand so hot? It's so comfortable. What's this? Wang Lan's star power was rapidly consumed. The healing speed was actually about the same as when he was Iron Level 1. Wang Lan couldn't accept this healing speed. I have to add points. Anyway, I have 1,000 skill points. Add them for me. 100 skill points were added instantly. The self-healing skill was upgraded to silver level 2. The consumption of star power was reduced a little, and the healing speed was obviously faster. But this was far from enough. Continue adding points. In just a few seconds, Wang Lan directly added 900 points to the healing skill. The healing skill was the capital to settle down in the future. When he was awesome, he could pretend to be awesome. When he was humble, he could still be humble. Just as Huang Feilong said, once you awakened the medical Takashi Hoshi talent, you would be a father wherever you went. A large group of people would fight to have you, and a large group of people would fight to protect you. Your existence represented the endurance of the team, and it meant that you were not afraid of injury or even death. If it wasn't for the fact that there was no difference between 0 and 99 skill points for silver level 9, Wang Lan would have added the skill to silver level 9, 99,100. And in these few seconds, Xiao Gang finally realized what Wang Lan was doing. He also finally realized what kind of changes had happened to his body. His body was warm, and it didn't hurt. His whole body was relaxed. His breathing was light, and the air was cool. The feeling of suffocation and wheezing had completely disappeared. In an instant, Xiao Gang stared at Wang Lan with his bull-like eyes. At this moment, Wang Lan had already moved his palm away, and Xiao Gang's injuries had completely recovered. All right, you're a medical Takashi Hoshi? Xiao Gang said with a dumbfounded expression. Even Wang Lan couldn't help but shudder. Is my medical Takashi Hoshi not obvious enough? Shouldn't you return to the battlefield? Captain Run and the rest can't hold on any longer. Damn it, demon bastards. Your grandpa Xiao is here. Xiao Gang roared and turned into a stream of light that rushed towards the battlefield. Damn it, old Xiao, don't fight with me. If there's glory, I'll be the first. Get out of the way. I'm going to drag 10 of you down with me. Go back my foot. I'm here to kill the enemy, not to be glorious. Xiao Gang kicked his bloodied comrade back and dashed towards the biochemical demon soldier in front of him with his sword in both hands. Old Xiao, aren't you about to die? Takashi Hoshi shuddered. Xiao Gang looked so lively, and he didn't look like he was about to die at all. My foot, the bastard behind me, is a medical Takashi Hoshi, and he's a high-level one. Those who are seriously injured, hurry up and retreat for treatment. Those who are lightly injured, hold on. Heaven has eyes. We're not fated to die. The soldier who had been kicked to Wang Lan's side by Xiao Gang had dozens of knife wounds all over his body, each of which was so deep that his bones could be seen. Wang Lan didn't even dare to imagine how he didn't even frown when he was so heavily injured and was still able to continue fighting. Although he had always heard that soldiers were the most respectable people in the world, he had never experienced it firsthand. At this moment, Wang Lan was convinced. If such a person wasn't respectable, there wouldn't be such a word in the world. Don't move, it'll be done soon. Wang Lan pressed the soldier down and quickly rubbed the wounds on his body with his palm. He had to stop the bleeding first. Feeling the rapid recovery of his body, the soldier whose name Wang Lan didn't know was moved to tears. Don't cry, don't cry. Trust me, I'll be able to heal you soon. I believe you, but can you be gentler when you rub my wounds? It hurts so much. The pain would still continue during the healing process, and he would only stop feeling pain when the wounds were completely healed. Therefore, Wang Lan roughly rubbed his wounds, which was equivalent to letting him recall all the pain he felt from the wounds on his body. Even if he had an iron will, he couldn't hold on any longer, and he was in so much pain that tears streamed down his face. F***CK. I'm out of mana. He was about to heal him, but he didn't have much star power left. I have soul orbs in my backpack. You should have said so earlier. Wang Lan snatched the soldier's backpack and reached one hand into it to absorb star power, while the other hand quickly healed the wounds. Skill point +1. Skill point +1. Skill point +1. Okay, next. Soldiers, whoever has a soul orb, throw it over. It takes a lot of star power to heal. As soon as he finished speaking, more than a dozen backpacks fell from the sky like meteorites, almost burying Wang Lan. I'm back to full health. Demon bastards, come at me again. Old Wolf, your King intestines are flowing out. Why are you still fighting? Go back and heal yourself first. Old Wolf, go back first. Let's calm down. What the CK are you doing? Wasting a second. This is an order. Takashi Hoshi roared furiously. Before Wang Lan could catch his breath, a middle-aged soldier covered in blood lay in front of Wang Lan. Little brother, be gentler. I'm afraid of pain. Your intestines are almost on the ground, yet you're still fighting. Now you're telling me that you're afraid of pain? Wang Lan quickly stuffed Old Wolf's intestines back into the wound. He didn't care whether he was going to reposition them or not. He hoped that Takashi Hoshi's skill could help him reposition his intestines. Takashi Hoshi's skill was activated. His warm palm was like a small sun, awakening Old Wolf's exhausted body. After more than 10 seconds, not only did his intestines reposition, but there wasn't even a scar on the wound. Then, he healed the many wounds on Old Wolf's body. A strong man rushed into the battlefield again. Next, Wang Lan didn't care how many people he had healed or how many times he had healed. Anyway, Wang Lan had healed Xiao Gang 3 times. However, there were more and more 5th-generation demon soldiers outside. Previously, it was 1 against 2 and 1 against 3. Soon, it became 1 against 4 and 1 against 5. Such a situation caused a revived warrior to be injured by the demon soldiers before he could kill a biochemical demon soldier. Even if he succeeded in killing one, his life would be hanging by a thread. Soon, there was a situation in the game where his health was not as fast as his health regeneration. Soon, even with Wang Lan, a powerful medical Takashi Hoshi, there were still deaths. The first to die was Hua, a Nebula Stage Takashi Hoshi warrior with the fire attribute. After successfully killing a biochemical demon soldier, he was killed by 3 biochemical demons. His comrades around him couldn't save him in time and were cut into pieces. After one death, a second one soon appeared. This scene caused Wang Lan's heart to burn with anxiety. There were still 30 seconds left. The cooldown of the Phoenix form would be up in 30 seconds. Brothers, hold on for 30 seconds. Don't die within 30 seconds. As long as you don't die within 30 seconds, I can get rid of them. You must stay alive. Hold on. Chapter 36. Wang Lan wasn't sure if Takashi Hoshi and the others heard him, but he also knew that his words weren't trustworthy. You're just a star? No, a newbie who just broke through Star Blazing, and you're saying you can get rid of them? Do you think the true Martial Group's elite team is useless? However, it seemed that the moment Wang Lan said this, Takashi Hoshi and the others' attacks suddenly became fierce. Demon bastards. Grandpa will take you home. Old Wolf. Don't be impulsive. Boom. Old Wolf turned into a stream of light and rushed into the middle of the biohazard demons. His limbs and body were instantly cut off by the biohazard demons. However, suddenly, the Star Palace opened, and the stars were destroyed. A powerful explosion surged out and swallowed 7 or 8 biohazard demons around him. Life is as beautiful as summer flowers. Death is as bright as a meteor. The fleeting beauty shocked Wang Lan's heart. Wang Lan had awareness and willpower. He could even calmly face death and generously sacrifice himself when facing the enemy. However, he was still shocked by the determination of the soldiers in front of him. Even if he had to die in battle, he would choose to die in battle with the best value. Even at the last breath of his life, he would erupt with a heroic will to fight to the death. Suddenly, a poem appeared in Wang Lan's mind. What's the point of leaving my broken body? Let my broken body become a bridge to lead the enemy to the other side of the underworld. Life I fight. Death I fight. Old Wolf, bastards, I'll fight you to the death. Shao Gang. Calm down. Phoenix form, activate. A cold voice sounded, as if it was a judgment from hell. When the cooldown time was up, Wang Lan activated the Phoenix form without hesitation. The Phoenix form had already added 300 skill points. 300 skill points, 30 seconds to cast. A Phoenix tail flower mark appeared between Wang Lan's eyebrows. The Phoenix form this time seemed to be a little different from the last time. The moment the Phoenix tail flower mark appeared, blood-red emblems appeared all over Wang Lan's body. A layer of bright red mist rippled around his body. It was like blood, like fire, like a dream, like an illusion. In an instant, Wang Lan's figure appeared in front of Takashi Hoshi. He cut the biohazard demon's mantis blade in half with one palm and then punched out with lightning speed. The biohazard demon's head suddenly exploded. Wang Lan's figure flickered and appeared beside every warrior, resolving the crisis for them. Then, she turned into a series of afterimages and charged at the incoming biochemical fiends. The biohazard demons were very strong. Each had the strength of a mid-stage nebula. But in Phoenix form, they weren't even a single punch could kill them. In less than 10 seconds, there were only a few demons eyes. Meanwhile, Takashi Hoshi and the others were still in a defensive stance. Their eyes were fixed on the scene in front of them. Even with the strong heart of a soldier, as elites who had been baptized by war and fire, who would remain calm even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of them, their minds were blank at this moment. Just now, the biohazard demon's mantis blade was less than 5 centimeters away from his vital point. At that moment, Takashi Hoshi was even prepared to sacrifice his life for the sake of righteousness. But suddenly, a figure shrouded in red mist flashed past. And then, there was no more after the biohazard demon's pawn. Puffed. There was a long and drawn-out fart sound. All of a sudden, the frozen soldiers seemed to have been woken up and instantly retreated. Head, what's going on? IF Asterisk King want to know too. That person seems to be Lil Bro Wang Lan. I vaguely heard something about 30 seconds. Did any of you hear it? Lil Bro Wong Lon wants us to hold on for 30 seconds. It's really him? But how is that possible? Isn't he only at the heavenly body tier? Is this the heavenly body tier? Could it be that we've been wrong all this time? So the heavenly body tier isn't the starting point for Takashi Hoshi. Did we take the tier upgrade Atlas the wrong way? I don't know if it's the wrong way, but isn't Lil Bro Wong Lon a healer? What are you waiting for? Lil Bro Wong Lon has already killed his way out. Go help him. Takashi Hoshi suddenly snapped out of his daze. As soon as he finished speaking, he took the lead and rushed to the entrance of the cave. After leaving the cave, Takashi Hoshi and the others gasped in unison. Outside the cave, dozens of biohazard demons were densely packed together. All of them had died with their heads blown off. All of the biohazard demons had fallen in different postures. Takashi Hoshi had seen such a scene before. Back then, he was ordered to reinforce a small country in the Middle East that was being ravaged by mutated beasts. At that time, a terrifying secret realm suddenly opened. Countless humanoid mutated beasts swarmed into that country and slaughtered 100,000 people in a single night. The United Nations made an emergency resolution and requested the P5 countries to provide peacekeeping support. At that time, Takashi Hoshi was the captain of the first lieutenant. At that time, after a night of fierce fighting, he and his team were surrounded in an abandoned factory. The entire factory was filled with mutated beasts, densely packed and endless. They could only hide in the factory's underground warehouse and wait for rescue. A day later, someone knocked on the door of the underground warehouse. After verifying the secret code, Takashi Hoshi led his team out of the warehouse. What entered their eyes were the corpses of the humanoid, mutated beasts. Their postures when they fell were also as messy as the scene before them. It was only after watching the surveillance footage that they learned that the powerful Takashi Hoshi who had saved them, whose name they still didn't know, had instantly killed thousands of mutated beasts in the warehouse. The mutated beasts were killed in large batches without realizing the enemy had appeared, leaving behind a mess of corpses. At this moment, the hundreds of biochemical demonized soldiers outside the cave were all killed before they could even discover the enemy. Brother Wong Lon. Xiao Gang suddenly cried out. At the end of the pile of corpses, Wong Lon was lying on the ground in a twisted posture. It was unknown if he was dead or alive. Xiao Gang rushed to Wong Lan's side like the wind. Brother Wong Lon, you can't die. Brother Wong Lon, don't shake me, don't fall apart. Wong Lon stared at Xiao Gang, who seemed to be concerned about him, but had almost killed him. At this moment, Wong Lon really wanted to take back his evaluation of him. Cute my ass. I hate you. Little brother, how are you? Takashi Hoshi asked solemnly as he came up to him. It's exhaustion. An older warrior squatted down and checked his body. It's nothing serious. Xiao Gang, carry Wong Lon on your back. We'll go back and report. This time, Xiao Gang was very careful. He ran with Wong Lon on his back, but Wong Lon didn't feel any bumps. However, he still felt terrible. He really wanted to die. His head was dizzy, and his body felt like it had been hollowed out. His organs and even his entire body didn't feel like it belonged to Wong Lon anymore. I really don't know which pervert created the Phoenix form. Even if I, Wong Lon, get beaten to death or torn apart, I won't use it again. It's too painful. I say, little brother, can you change the position you fall in next time to something everyone can accept? You twisted your body at this angle just now. At first glance, it looks like you're dead. There won't be a next time. I promise. What kind of Takashi Hoshi technique is that? Why is it so powerful? It should be an S-rank Takashi Hoshi technique, right? It might be even more than that. Maybe it's an S-rank forbidden technique. I don't want to talk about this. I'll take a nap first. In a daze, Wong Lon peacefully closed his eyes. Takashi Hoshi came to Wu Chongfeng's office and said with a grave expression, Battalion Commander, the situation is serious. Wu Chongfeng sat behind his desk and said with a gloomy expression, I can see that your team lost 3 people. Everyone is injured. That little girl from before brought a copy of their experiment data. Old Fu and I looked at it. This kind of biochemical demon soldier has never appeared before. In the past, biochemical demon soldiers could at most be considered high heavenly body tier. Even star-blazing demon soldiers have never appeared before. But this time, I'm afraid that those below the nebula stage won't be able to suppress the 5th-generation biochemical demon soldiers. It's inevitable that those below the nebula stage won't be able to suppress them. When we were investigating the demon's base, we were ambushed by demons. There were more than 100 biochemical demon soldiers. They surrounded and attacked our team. If it wasn't for little brother Wang Lan, we would have died without a doubt. Wang Lan, that little guy that you guys carried back, isn't he only at the heavenly body tier? What, does he have some kind of powerful support ability? 70 to 80 of the demons were killed by him alone. Old Wu, do you know that there's a kind of Takashi Hoshi technique? After it's activated, there'll be a mark on the forehead that looks like a phoenix tail flower. A red mist will rise from the body like flames. Then, it'll be as fast as lightning, and it'll have the strength to split mountains and crush rocks. In an instant, it'll be able to kill dozens of nebula stage people like me. Takashi Hoshi didn't dare to continue speaking, because at this moment, he felt that Wu Changfeng was about to eat him. That pair of bull eyes stared straight at him. His gaze was so sharp that it could touch his soul. Phoenix form? Wu Changfeng paused between each word. His sharp eyes stared into Takashi Hoshi's eyes as he asked in a low voice. I don't know. Old Wu, what kind of Takashi Hoshi technique is this? Have you seen it before? Wu Changfeng slowly shook his head. I haven't seen it before, but I've heard of it. You know that I graduated from Sibu Gakuen in Shanghai, and there's a legend about Sibu Gakuen in Shanghai. 10 years ago, Di Lao, one of the 5 elders of the Jade State, was transferred from Sibu Gakuen Yanhua to Sibu Gakuen as the dean. In the eyes of the outside world, this was just the transfer of a dean of an ordinary university. But to Sibu Gakuen, it was very meaningful. What's the foundation of Sibu Gakuen in Shanghai? The dragon transformation art. For the past 200 years, countless powerful Takashi Hoshi techniques have been derived from the dragon transformation art. These Takashi Hoshi techniques have become the foundation of Sibu Gakuen in Shanghai. But to us students, the dragon transformation art has another name. It's called the Dragon Emperor form. You should be able to relate it to the meaning of the Phoenix form, right? You mean, the Phoenix form is the same as the Dragon Emperor form, and it's enough to support the foundation of Sibu Gakuen. Yes, Di Lao's arrival to Sibu Gakuen as the dean of Sibu Gakuen has made everyone in Shanghai celebrate. His arrival is equivalent to building a new foundation for Sibu Gakuen. The Phoenix form is the Jade State's S-ranked forbidden Takashi Hoshi technique. It's a powerful Takashi Hoshi technique that has been passed down since ancient times. Its origin can be traced back to the mythological era. However, the conditions to learn this Takashi Hoshi technique are too harsh. In the entire Jade State, there are less than 10 people who have practiced it, and I only know of one person who has successfully learned it. Chapter 37. Who? Takashi Hoshi asked subconsciously. One of the 5 emperors, the Southern Yin Emperor, no one would have deliberately told Takashi Hoshi these things before. So even though he was a battle-hardened warrior, the fire of gossip was burning inside him. Especially since it was related to the 5 emperors, his eyes were shining. You mean Wang Lan is the first person to successfully cultivate the Phoenix form after Yin Emperor? You think too much. Wu Changfeng glanced at Takashi Hoshi with disdain. The Phoenix form is a top-level Takashi Hoshi skill. Learning a little and learning it are 2 completely different concepts. The Phoenix form has 3 forms, and only Yin Emperor can really use all 3 forms. The others can only use a little of the Phoenix form. But even so, the Phoenix form is powerful enough to make one's hair stand on end. What I'm more concerned about is how Wang Lan, a heavenly body tier Takashi Hoshi, learned the Phoenix form. And how did he have the opportunity to learn the Phoenix form with his identity? I haven't investigated it yet. Preliminary information shows that he grew up in a single-parent family. His mother was Wang Ling, a Takashi Hoshi, but she sacrificed herself in a mission when Wang Lan was very young. His father's name is blank. That's the problem. Being born in such an ordinary family, it's impossible for him to come into contact with a top-level Takashi Hoshi skill like the Phoenix form. Also, as far as I know, the requirements to learn the Phoenix form are extremely harsh. The first is the strength of the body. The body must be tempered into steel before it can withstand the erosion of the fire element brought about by the Phoenix form. The Phoenix form is an extremely violent power. It's extremely harsh on the body's strength and control of star power. The slightest carelessness will cause the fire element star power to burn the body into ashes. The second is the pure fire body. The fire element must be refined to more than 98%. Because of this, the Phoenix form is listed as a forbidden skill. One must meet the requirements and get permission to cultivate it. This Wang Lan definitely has an extraordinary background. He is definitely a genius among geniuses. Yeah, I agree with that. Just based on his medical skills alone, he's definitely the best Takashi Hoshi I've ever seen. What did you say? Wu Changfeng suddenly turned around and stared at Takashi Hoshi. Medical awakened? You said that he knows Takashi Hoshi medical skills? I don't know if it was Takashi Hoshi's skill or not. He just pressed his hand on our wounds, and it didn't take long for our wounds to heal. There wasn't even a scar. During our encounter with the demon soldiers, everyone was healed by Wang Lan at least 3 times. 10 seconds later, the injuries that looked like they were about to die actually healed back to full health. I've seen Takashi Hoshi in the military before, but he definitely doesn't have such strong medical skills. Old Wu, why don't we poach Wang Lan over? Wu Changfeng pondered for a while. Don't even think about poaching him. He's only in high school. There's still a year before he joins the army and 4 years of university. Besides, even if he graduates from university, it's still uncertain if he'll join the army. Even if he does, are you so sure that he'll join the Southeast Military Region? As long as we wield the hoe well, there's no corner that we can't poach. As long as we control it well, he'll definitely be able to join the Southeast Military Region. As long as he's in the Southeast Military Region, won't he be the meat in the pot of the true martial regiment? Don't think about it first. Inform the platoons that there's a special operations team leader for a meeting. Yes, Wang Lan didn't know how long he had slept. Although the side effects of using the Phoenix form this time were not as strong as the previous time, he felt that the burden on his body was much greater than the previous time. After waking up slowly, Wang Lan didn't open his eyes right away. Instead, he entered the system to check his current status. As expected, the Phoenix form was already in cooldown. The cooldown time was 22 hours. This meant that he had been unconscious for 2 hours. It seemed that the feeling wasn't that strong, was just an illusion. Last time, he had only used the Phoenix form for 5 seconds. The feeling of his body being hollowed out lasted for 2 hours before fading away. But this time, it wasn't that he wasn't ruthless. He had directly fainted. He had already fainted for 2 hours, but the feeling was still that strong. Thinking about this, Wang Lan couldn't help but tremble. If he hadn't fainted, what kind of experience would it have been? F***CK. No more, never again. Next time, even if you beat me to death, I won't use it again. She still had 50 skill points left. Thinking back to the inhuman tycoon who had more than 1,000 skill points, Wang Lan reminisced about the past. Of course, spending 900 skill points on the healing skill was still worth it. The healing skill could heal others. Its value was even more important than Wang Lan's life. To put it bluntly, Wang Lan's 150 kilograms of meat was a bonus for the healing skill. With the remaining 50 points, Wang Lan quickly added 1 point to each of his bronze level 9 skills. Instantly, basic fighting, silver level 1, 0 out of 100 body movement, silver level 1, 0 out of 100, close combat swordsmanship, silver level 1, 0 out of 100, inch punch, silver level 1, 0 out of 100. They were all silver skills, so beautiful. And it wasn't just beautiful. At this moment, Wang Lan felt that he had walked through the vicissitudes of life. In that moment of enlightenment, it was as if his soul had ascended to a higher level. Thinking back to his previous battle skills and combat power, it was like a third-year student looking back at his first-year exam paper. F***CK. This kind of paper can get full marks with my eyes closed. Impossible. How could I get this kind of low-level question wrong? No, this definitely wasn't me. Anyway, at this moment, Wang Lan despised his previous self. Bronze was still bronze. Previously, he was so proud of himself. In the eyes of a king, he was just a joke. Although Wang Lan was still a distance away from becoming a king, it didn't stop Wang Lan from reflecting on his previous shortcomings with a king's attitude. "You're awake?" A cold but gentle voice sounded. He opened his eyes in a daze. Beside the bed sat a graceful figure emitting a faint fragrance. Jiang Xinyu had already changed out of her battle uniform, but her chest was still wearing the medical stabilizing armor, a moon-white mask without any patterns. Her face was tilted, and a pair of beautiful eyes looked at Wang Lan through the eye sockets of the mask. "You've been here taking care of me?" Wang Lan sat up with difficulty. Although his limbs were still sore, they weren't paralyzed. And, don't misunderstand, the two young masters have always been served. I have experience in taking care of Xian Chun. Actually, you don't have to explain anything. Wang Lan's eyebrows twitched. "Take off your mask and let me see." "No, it's ugly. We'll be able to leave soon. Once we're out, I'll find a medical Takashi Hoshi to treat me. This degree of injury won't be a problem. I can recover. You don't have to worry. Don't waste your money. I've broken through star blazing." And Jiang Xinyu's eyes lit up. "So fast? How did you do it?" Even Jiang Xinyu, a genius, felt that this was inconceivable. She couldn't even comprehend how Wang Lan's growth was so fast that she could look down on her peers. However, Wang Lan knew his own situation. His leveling speed was predictable. The Heavenly Body tier started with 100 EXP, and when he reached Star Dawn Tier 9, he needed 1000 EXP. However, when he started Star Blazing, his starting EXP was 10,000. Wang Lan didn't think that it would take 11,000 EXP to upgrade from Star Dawn Tier 2 to Star Dawn Tier 3. It would definitely start at 20,000 EXP. So on and so forth. Star Blazing needed 550,000 EXP to level up. How long would it take to earn 550,000 EXP? Even if he could, what about Nebula? 5 million EXP? It seemed that the system was very generous, giving Wang Lan hope for continuous improvement. However, leveling up required a huge amount of EXP and skill points, which also made Wang Lan feel helpless. It was no wonder that some people were stuck in Star Blazing for their entire lives. Those who were slightly better could break through Nebula and barely not become cannon fodder. As for those above the galaxy realm, they were extremely rare. He really hoped that the system was a web-based game like the Greedy Wolf system, where killing a monster would give him 100,000 EXP. Unfortunately, this system was very serious. Don't ask me how I did it. I want to say that after my breakthrough, my Takashi Hoshi talent seems to have evolved. Not only can I heal myself, but I can also heal others. Really? Jiang Xinyu exclaimed excitedly. He didn't know if she was happy that her injuries could be healed or that Wang Lan had awakened the true medical Takashi Hoshi talent. Wang Lan reached out and took off Jiang Xinyu's mask. Half of her face was covered with hideous blood blisters, and her entire face was red and swollen. It was no wonder that Jiang Xinyu had to wear a mask. Wang Lan couldn't accept this face. His hand slowly touched Jiang Xinyu's injured cheek. Suddenly, Jiang Xinyu shrank back. "Ouch! It hurts." "Okay, I'll touch it gently. I'll try not to hurt you." Wang Lan knew that in order to let the healing skill be completely transmitted to the target's body, he had to place his palm tightly on the injured area. She was already injured, so of course it would hurt a lot. When Wang Lan healed Takashi Hoshi's team at the demon's base, the tough man cried in pain. Wang Lan understood. Su Xiangwen and Gong Feiyu had just walked to the door of the room when they suddenly heard these two sentences. They instantly stopped opening the door, and their stiff faces seemed to have weathered away. He stroked Jiang Xinyu's cheek with his palm, and a warm power rose from his palm. Through the skin, Jiang Xinyu's cells were awakened. The pain disappeared in an instant. Her entire cheek was warm, as if she was wandering in a hot spring. Jiang Xinyu was so comfortable that she couldn't help but let out a low moan. The moment the moan was heard, Su Xiangwen, who was outside the door, suddenly felt his scalp explode. He turned his neck stiffly and gave Gong Feiyu an inquiring look. Gong Feiyu also had a strange look on his face. He silently shook his head and then nodded. How is it? It doesn't hurt anymore, right? If it doesn't hurt, I'll use more force. As he spoke, Wang Lan pressed Jiang Xinyu's cheek hard. His entire hand completely covered Jiang Xinyu's injured area. He activated his star power, and a faint white light overflowed from his palm. The blood blisters on Jiang Xinyu's face gradually darkened, and her skin became visibly stiff. About 10 seconds later, the injured part of her cheek was as dry and hard as a layer of rice crust. Su Xiangwen and Gong Feiyu quietly left. Their backs were so lonely. Oh, Gong! Gong Feiyu was shocked and quickly moved away from Su Xiangwen. He stared at him with frightened eyes and vigilant. Xiangwen, we should have known that Lan Zi and Xinyu would come to this point. Although it's a bit sudden, you wouldn't change your sexual orientation just because of that, right? Su Xiangwen also realized that the way he addressed Gong Feiyu was a bit inappropriate. No, your surname is Gong, not that Gong. Don't misunderstand. What I mean is, we'll be the only 2 single dogs left. They'll definitely show off their love for no reason. We have to hold on. You're the one who should hold on. I'm fine. That junior in the first year of high school has been lusting after my body for a long time. I can't take it anymore. But you're too slutty. It might be difficult for you to change your mind and get rid of your single life. Get lost. How can you give in so easily? Do you believe that I'll go out and tell that girl everything? Sigh. How did they develop to this point so quickly? They were clearly in the trial area, in the garrison's lounge. Really? Wait, someone's coming. Oh no, we have to guard the door. Su Xiangwen suddenly shouted. Chapter 38. Wang Lan released his hand, and Jiang Xinyu quickly scratched her cheek. It was too itchy, and her face was uncomfortable. With this scratch, the scars on her face were scratched off piece by piece. After a while, a flawless face appeared in front of Wang Lan's eyes like a peeled egg. Is it okay? Jiang Xinyu asked nervously. Beautiful, perfect, but the injury on your chest. Wang Lan's eyebrows kept twitching, and a lewd smile spread across his face. Not good. There was a murderous aura. In an instant, he stopped smiling. It's okay. This injury is not troublesome. My ribs have been set, and I don't need to fight anymore. I can recuperate by myself. Jiang Xinyu turned her face to the side and said with a blush, Well, soldier brother, are you looking for Wang Lan? It's not convenient now, or is it inconvenient? Little brother Wang Lan hasn't woken up yet? Wang Lan looked at Jiang Xinyu in confusion. Jiang Xinyu strode to the door and opened it. Wang Lan has woken up. Why don't you 2 come in? Can we come in this situation? Su Xiangwen rolled his eyes. Don't block the door. Let him come in first. Takashi Hoshi came into the room and saw that Wang Lan had woken up. He smiled brightly. Little brother, how's your recovery? It's almost done. Captain Ren, why are you looking for me? Our battalion commander has something to say to you. He planned to come in person, but he couldn't get away. So, is it convenient for you? Of course, there's nothing inconvenient. Let's go. Although his body was still a little weak, it did not affect his movement. Wang Lan followed Takashi Hoshi out of the lounge under the puzzled gaze of Jiang Xinyu and the other 2. The camp area of the primary trial field was not big, like a village primary school. There were 2 rows of 2-story buildings, 1 row of accommodation, and 1 row of offices. Report. Come in. After Wang Lan was brought in, Wu Changfeng put down the pen in his hand and stood up. He walked over to the sofa and gestured for Wang Lan to sit down. Then, he personally poured a glass of water for Wang Lan. Thank you very much for the information you provided us, and thank you very much for your help to my subordinates. If it weren't for you, I might have lost 10 good brothers. There's no need to thank me, Major. This is what I should do. I am a Takashi Hoshi. Fighting against the demons is the duty and obligation of us, Takashi Hoshi, Wang Lan said cautiously. He didn't know what this major meant. Don't be nervous. My name is Wu Changfeng, and I'm the commander of the True Martial Regiment's 3rd Battalion. I'm currently in charge of guarding Sioux City's elementary training grounds. You can call me Brother Wu, or you can call me Old Wu. Whatever. I wouldn't dare. I've never seen such a high-ranking official in my life. Wang Lan smiled very obediently. Official my ass. Wu Changfeng grinned and spat out a dialect. Someone from the middle of Sichuan. It was true. It's not that I want to say this, little brother. With your talent and your strength as a medical star martial artist, your future achievements will definitely be above mine. In less than 10 years, your legend will spread throughout Jade State. Brother Wu, you're praising me too much. You'll fall to your death. Are your medical skills very good? I don't know how to answer this question. I've only been a Takashi Hoshi for a few days, and I've only seen a few Takashi Hoshi. The Takashi Hoshi that I've come into contact with is also limited. I don't even know the standard of other medical Takashi Hoshi. How can I be good without comparison? What kind of injuries can you heal? My Takashi Hoshi skill should be considered as repair. My talent is derived from self-healing, which means that the body can be repaired through the Takashi Hoshi skill. Hence, instead of calling it a medical Takashi Hoshi skill, it's more like a repair Takashi Hoshi skill. As long as I don't die, I can activate the Takashi Hoshi skill to heal the injury. However, it also depends on the injury. If it's a broken arm or a leg, I'm afraid I can't do anything. Well, it's similar to my analysis. Your ability is very targeted and has a wide range of applications. It's very suitable for our army, especially for battlefield medicine. Hearing this, Wang Lan immediately became alert. Is he trying to recruit me into the army? He looked at Wu Changfeng in confusion. Wu Changfeng smiled faintly. I mean in the future. In fact, it was not bad to become a full-time doctor. Previously, when he treated Takashi Hoshi and the others, he gained experience every time he healed them. No matter how he looked at it, he could become stronger without doing anything. Moreover, healing consumed star power, so he could openly ask for soul orbs to replenish his skill points. It was a classic way to become stronger. However, Wang Lan did some calculations. From Starlight to Nebula, he needed 550,000 experience points and 5,500 people to heal. First, he did not ask how much time it would take to heal so many people. First, he wondered if there were so many people who needed his treatment. Unless there was an all-out war, how could there be so many injured people? And breaking through from Nebula to Star River was even more classic. He needed to heal 55,000 people. Damn, was this something a human could do? Even if he healed 10 people a day, it would take him 10 to 20 years. If he wanted to rely on treatment to reach the Starsea realm, it would really take him a lifetime. Being a full-time doctor seemed reliable, but it was not the life Wang Lan wanted. If he spent his whole life and died of old age without breaking through to the Starsea realm, it would definitely be a disgrace to the Transmigration Army. Wang Lan smiled and shook his head. Who knows what will happen in the future? That's true. I heard from Company Commander Ren that you used an extremely powerful Takashi Hoshi skill at a critical moment to save all of them. This Takashi Hoshi skill should be called Phoenix Form, right? Wang Lan looked at Wu Changfeng in surprise. He did not expect that there would be someone who knew about this Takashi Hoshi skill. Wang Lan had specially looked it up on the internet. There were Takashi Hoshi skills such as Phoenix Wings, Phoenix Soaring Sky, Phoenix Dance, and so on, but he could not find Phoenix Form. You don't have to look at me in surprise. Such a classic and powerful Takashi Hoshi skill can't be hidden. Moreover, I graduated from Cebu Gakuen in Shanghai. Back then, something happened that had a far-reaching impact, causing Phoenix Form to be known by all the students in my batch. Yes, indeed. Then, I'm very curious. Phoenix Form is an S-rank Takashi Hoshi skill, and it's also a forbidden skill. Even many powerful Takashi Hoshi do not have the opportunity to learn it. How did you get it? Will it bring me danger? That depends on the method you use to get it. If the method is wrong, the country will not let you off. If the method is right, the country will protect you. After all, S-rank Takashi Hoshi is enough to make many people drool, and they will not hesitate to trample on the law. My mother left it to me, Wang Lan said straightforwardly. Having such a precious treasure and being coveted by others, one could imagine how dangerous it was. If he did not obtain the protection of a powerful force, who knew when his corpse would be lying on the streets? Your mother? Wu Changfeng's eyes suddenly became serious. I've seen your information. Your mother is Wang Ling, and she is a Takashi Hoshi. But the strange thing is that I can only find the most superficial information. Your mother's information only has this most basic information. Everything about her past, such as her birth, schooling, work, everything is blank. This should be classified as a secret. But I have a guess about your identity, so I still hope you can tell me. Don't worry, I am a soldier and a member of the Ministry of National Defense's Sharp Blade program. My political orientation and identity can be trusted. I know the confidentiality rules. Even if you tell me, I will not leak it. And you're very dangerous. The fact that you have the Phoenix form cannot be hidden for long. Is that so? Wang Lan did not hesitate for long. Actually, I don't know much about my mother. When I was 8 years old, I was told that my mother sacrificed herself in a mission. But not long after I awakened as a Takashi Hoshi, my aunt gave me my mother's belongings and told me her identity. She might not be dead, she might just be missing, or she might not be missing at all. My mother's name is Wang Ling, and her title is Yin Emperor. Wu Changfeng's breathing suddenly became rapid. Although he had already guessed it, hearing the exact news with his own eyes still made him feel like he was being swallowed by a tsunami, feeling the impact of the stormy waves. In the entire Jade State, there were no more than 10 people who had cultivated the Phoenix form, and the only one who was known to have successfully cultivated it was Yin Emperor. If he did not succeed in cultivating it, he naturally would not dare to pass this skill to others, unless he wanted to harm others. And only those who had successfully walked this path would allow others to replicate the successful experience. So Wu Changfeng guessed that Wang Lan's Phoenix form was from Yin Emperor. But Wang Lan's interpersonal relationships were clean, and he could not have any interaction with Yin Emperor. Only Wang Lan's mother, Wang Ling, had such a strange and clean information. With his keen intuition, Wu Changfeng speculated that Wang Ling should have a close relationship with Yin Emperor. And now, this speculation was confirmed. Yin Emperor was Wang Ling, and Wang Ling was Yin Emperor, the son of Yin Emperor, the descendant of the 5 emperors. What a dazzling identity! The 5 elders and 5 emperors had always been called together, but who knew that the 5 elders and 5 emperors were mutually beneficial? Why were the 5 of them called the 5 elders? It was because these 5 highly respected elders had nurtured such outstanding disciples like the 5 emperors. It was also because of the strength of the 5 emperors that the status of the 5 elders was set off. The 5 elders did not only have the 5 emperors as their disciples. Their disciples were spread across various industries, and they were all elites. The 5 elders might not be able to cultivate a second 5 emperors. So the identity of the descendant of the 5 emperors was a dazzling star in the eyes of the 5 elders. With such an identity, who would dare to lay their hands on him? And with such an identity, how could he be so unknown in the past 16 years? Wu Changfeng exclaimed in admiration. As expected of Yin Emperor, he had actually hidden his child so well and so deeply. I understand. Since Yin Emperor's child has been born, then I think too much. I don't need to worry about your safety. Oh? Big Brother Wu, what do you mean? I don't quite understand. You don't need to understand. In the future, you can eat and drink as you wish. Live as you wish. Originally, I didn't panic, but after hearing what you said, I suddenly panicked. It's not what you think. You're in your Phoenix form, so there won't be any trouble. Don't worry. You're Yin Emperor's son, who would dare to do anything to you. That. I asked you to come over this time to discuss something with you. Wu Changfeng's tone changed somewhat suddenly. Although he did not have an overbearing attitude before, his tone was more like a leader's. But now his tone was somewhat submissive. Chapter 39. Please speak, Brother Wu. From the test video that Zhang Fei brought, we can conclude that the failure of the 5th-generation biodemons a year ago led to a riot. Even the leading doctor died. Although they were suppressed by the demons in the end, the base was also sealed. It seems that the plan has been put on hold. However, from what you've encountered, the biodemons' plan has made a breakthrough. They have successfully controlled the biodemons, and the biodemon strength has been strengthened again. Moreover, there are dozens of cultivation cabins in the sealed base, but the biodemons' army you encountered was far more than the number of cultivation cabins. This leads us to 2 conclusions. First, there are other demons' bases in the training field, and there are demons secretly creating biodemons. Second, the demons' plan for biodemons has been perfected. It doesn't matter whether they hid the base in the beginner training field to secretly cultivate the biodemons or if they have other intentions. What's important is that we find them and destroy them. We will immediately close the training field completely and eliminate the Takashi Hoshi in the training field. Then, we will carry out a thorough excavation and search. When that time comes, there will inevitably be a tough battle. Your medical ability is what we urgently need. I hope you can stay and help us and provide treatment. You don't have any medical Takashi Hoshi? Wang Lan asked curiously. No, medical Takashi Hoshi are too precious. There might not even be one in 100 Takashi Hoshi. The Southeast military region has 100,000 Takashi Hoshi troops, but there are only about 1,000 medical Takashi Hoshi. Medical Takashi Hoshi are so delicate. How can they be arranged to be on duty in the training field? They are either on vacation or studying. They will only be assigned during wartime. Don't you need to ask for instruction from your superiors or ask for help? Of course, I need to ask for help. However, the military's order is to hold on for 2 days. Although I don't know why, there must be a reason. It might be because of the demons. Little brother, do you think the demons will give us 2 days to safely wait for reinforcements? I'm sure that they will make a move in these 2 days. I just hope that you can help me save those injured brothers. I don't need you to participate in the battle. And I promise that if there's any danger, I'll be the first to send you out. What do you think? Protecting our country and the human civilization is the mission of every Takashi Hoshi. I'm duty-bound. It's just that, even though I have the Phoenix form, I overdraw too much after using it once. I need 24 hours before I can use it again. So even if you want my help, you have to wait for 24 hours. I understand. Of course I understand. The Phoenix form is such a powerful Takashi Hoshi skill. Logically speaking, you didn't even meet the learning requirements, but you were able to use it. There must be a price to pay. Furthermore, I'll be frank with you. With my mid-stage galaxy cultivation base, suppressing a low-level secret realm is more than enough. Since that's the case, then I'll leave my life in Big Brother Wu's hands. Don't worry, even if I have to risk my life, I'll make sure you're safe. If something happens to you here, I might not have a future in this lifetime. Don't worry. After Wang Lan left, the troops stationed at the training grounds started clearing out the trial takers. Because the previous mutant beast rampage had already been cleared out, all the Takashi Hoshi cultivators were gathered at the entrance. The seal on the training grounds had yet to be lifted. This time, it was even more thorough. Previously, it had been said that due to the mutant beast rampage in the training grounds, all the trial takers were on standby at the entrance for their safety. The trial takers would be allowed to continue their training once the troops were done suppressing the beast rampage. This was a trial fee of 5,000 yuan a day. Every day that they were delayed was like cutting off a piece of flesh for the trial takers. Seeing that the mutant beast rampage in the training grounds had been suppressed, the trial takers anxiously waited for the training grounds to operate again. Dear trial takers, the mutant beast rampage in the training grounds has been suppressed. All trial takers, wait a minute. We've received an emergency notification that an unknown malfunction has occurred in the training grounds. The troops stationed at the training grounds are requesting all trial takers to leave the training grounds immediately. We apologize for the inconvenience and loss caused to all trial takers. We'll broadcast it again. What the F***, CK? Damn, what's going on? Weren't the mutant beasts suppressed? Unknown malfunction? Unknown malfunction, my ass. What unknown malfunction could there be in the training grounds? Did the training grounds collapse or something? This daddy here paid money to enter, and you're telling me to clear the place? Refund, refund. Dear trial takers, we deeply apologize for the inconvenience we've caused you. We'll refund all the rewards you've received from the start of the exotic beast rampage to the remaining days of the trial. Please forgive us, trial takers. Forgive my ass. Do you think we're lacking in that bit of money? We want soul orbs. That's right, we want to train. The ruckus didn't affect the Takashi Hoshi cultivators' decision in the slightest. Although they were shouting happily, they still obediently handed over their things and left when they were cleared out. Unforgiving? That didn't exist. Wherever a platoon of Takashi Hoshi cultivators went, every single one of them emitting star brilliance or nebulous star force fluctuations. You bunch of star-blazing cultivators at most, come and try. I'll teach you how to behave in minutes. In the pitch-black underground secret realm, the yellow light above flickered slightly. The light was dim, and only the shadows of the three people at the round table could be seen, but their faces couldn't be seen clearly. The base that's been sealed for a year in the elementary training grounds has been discovered. How did they discover it? Were they still looking for it this year? No, it was an accident. A small trial team encountered an Inferno Leopard King in the canyon outside the Valley of Wind, and during the fight, they accidentally blew open the back wall of the base. You know, the cliffs of the Valley of Wind have been weathered over the years and are getting thinner and thinner. Then what do? Do we move the plan forward? We can only move it forward. But what? The Jinwu Regiment's 3rd Battalion is guarding the elementary training grounds this time. Unfortunately, the Takashi Hoshi Regiment of the Southeast Military Region has the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces Brigade as the strongest, and the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces Brigade has the most powerful Jinwu Regiment. This time, they just happened to run into the hands of the best in the Takashi Hoshi Regiment. The Jinwu Regiment's 3rd Battalion, Battalion Commander Wu Changfeng, has the strength of a mid-stage galaxy stage cultivator. The Vice Battalion Commander Fu Xiaoshi has the strength of a peak nebulous stage cultivator. The entire battalion has 170 nebulous stage elites, accounting for 1/3 of the entire regiment. After they discovered the sealed base, a small operation team once again entered to investigate. I intended to test the strength of the Jinwu army, so I sent out 150 5th-generation biochemical soldiers. But the result was beyond my expectations. The casualties were very heavy. All 155th-generation biochemical soldiers were killed, and only 4 members of the 12-man special operation team were killed. What? The middle-aged man across from him couldn't remain calm. How is that possible? 3 5th-generation biochemical soldiers were able to kill a human Takashi Hoshi at the nebulous stage. How did they manage to kill all 150 of our biochemical soldiers at the cost of only 4? Did Wu Changfeng act? I really hope so, but the truth is that it wasn't. At the time, Wu Changfeng was still in their military headquarters and hadn't left. The primary trial field only has 1,000 biochemical soldiers. If it's this kind of battle situation, our plan simply has no possibility of success. Can we silence the devil soldiers? Hide the base. It's no use. The youngster who spoke first shook his head. This time is different from a year ago. A year ago, they weren't certain that we had a base, so they searched once but didn't find anything. But this time, they've confirmed the location of the base. They'll definitely dig 3 feet into the ground, so much so that they won't hesitate to overturn the entire trial field. Our base simply can't be hidden, and the devil soldiers and devil generals can't be hidden. Damn it, this is our first operation. If we fail, the Empire will lose confidence in us. That's why this operation must succeed. Of course, according to the information I have, even the Jinwu Regiment shouldn't have displayed such a powerful strength. That battle result might have been an unexpected factor, and the Devil General's battle strength is estimated to be at Galaxy late stage. It's not like we don't have a chance of victory. Let's hope so. If it weren't for the Jinwu Regiment, It wouldn't matter even if the plan was brought forward. Destroying the primary trial field is equivalent to ruining the Jade State's Takashi Hoshi training base. Fate won't always favor us. Accidents must be something that we have to face head-on. The secret room once again fell into a dead silence. At the entrance of the trial field, Wang Lan, Jiang Xinyu, and the others came to the exit. The death report and analysis of Wang Yul proved that Wu Changfeng had already finished. After going out, Jiang Xinyu would definitely not have any trouble, and Wang Yul would also enjoy the glory of a martyr after his death. Martyrs were very valuable in peacetime. They could enjoy the pursuit of society, praise of public opinion, and their parents would also receive special care because they were the parents of a hero. But once the war broke out, perhaps these benefits would not be there. In an all-out war with the demons, everyone could die, and they could die. Jiang Xinyu safely passed through the security check. Just as she took 2 steps, she suddenly stopped in her tracks. This was because Wang Lan was right behind her, but she did not hear Wang Lan pass through the security check. A terrible guess arose in her mind, and Jiang Xinyu suddenly felt her heart tremble. With fear written all over her face, she suddenly turned around, only to see Wang Lan standing behind the security check and waving at her with a smile. "Wang Lan, what are you doing? Come here." Su Xiangwen's eyes were a little flustered, and he hurriedly waved his hand. "You guys go out first. I'll stay to help the Takashi Hoshi army. They need me." "Are you kidding? You're not a soldier. You're still a student. How can there be a difference between a soldier and a student on the battlefield against the demons? I'm a Takashi Hoshi, and that's enough. Besides, I'm a medical Takashi Hoshi, and I'm very safe at the rear. Don't worry, I'll be out in 2 days." Wang Lan smiled and turned around to leave. "Stop right there." Jiang Xinyu's cold voice rang out. "I brought you here, and I'm going to bring you out. Are you coming out or not? This is my personal decision. No one will blame you. Someone here will inform my aunt. Don't worry." "Don't worry." Jiang Xinyu held back the last word. Her eyes flickered for a moment, and she strode to the security check. "Beep, beep, beep. Ms. Jiang, please step back. The training field has been sealed. All participants must leave. I'm a Nebula Takashi Hoshi. I can help the military in battle. I'm sorry, but we can't agree to your request. Please leave as soon as possible." The training field has been cleared. All participants have left the training field. Seal the training field. The training field is being sealed. The heavy metal door slowly closed and slowly separated the 2 worlds. In their vision, each other's figure became smaller and smaller. Boom! The metal door was completely closed. That sound seemed to have smashed into Jiang Xinyu's heart, and she felt like she had lost the whole world in an instant. Wang Lan, that bastard, actually dumped us just like that? Does he even care about us? "Xinyu, don't worry too much. Wang Lan is a medical Takashi Hoshi, and he won't go to the front line. Besides, doesn't Wang Lan have the Phoenix form? Don't you know him well? He never does things that he's not confident in. Let's go and wait for him outside," Jiang Xinyu said calmly as she wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. Chapter 40. The night was silent, and the sky was dark. There was still day and night in the secret realm. The day wasn't very bright, and the night wasn't too dark. The sky above his head seemed to be a lamp that would change with time. The exotic beasts in the beginner's training field had completely quieted down. The soldiers of the True Martial Regiment's 3rd Battalion were scattered in every corner of the training field, searching from the outside to the inside. People came and went in the command center. Because there was no way to add wireless devices to the training field, and there weren't even any wired phones, the only way to contact the troops was through messengers. Wu Changfeng was in the middle of commanding. Wang Lan quietly watched as Wu Changfeng quickly issued orders and received information. This scene was very similar to the period dramas he'd seen in his previous life. Battalion Commander, Squad 32 has found traces of biochemical soldiers. They attempted to attack the White Ape tribe and instigated the exotic beasts. Squad 32 has already eliminated them. Please give your orders. Continue to search steadily. Focus on the encampment of the exotic beasts. Yes, sir. Orders. Squads 15 to 30. Focus on the exotic beasts. I suspect that the demons will first create chaos before making their move. Roger. While the camp was in full swing, large bumps suddenly appeared on the ground outside the Takashi Hoshi encampment. With a slight movement, fifth-generation biochemical soldiers burrowed out of the ground. One by one, 300 of them appeared in the blink of an eye. They didn't make any noise. They appeared silently and silently crept toward the camp. The camp was currently empty. The main forces had already gone out to search for the demons. The Takashi Hoshi army didn't expect the biochemical soldiers to launch a sneak attack at this time. As expected, there were very few guards in the camp. The lights of the command center in the distance were as bright as fireflies in the night. The demons silently approached from all directions. When they were 200 meters away from the command center, the biochemical soldiers suddenly charged in unison, turning into streaks of light in the night as they rushed toward the command center. Roar! Howls like wolves rang out. Anything that stood in the way of the demons would be mercilessly torn to shreds. They didn't meet any resistance and successfully charged through the gate of the command center. The lights above his head flickered slightly, but the figures in the command center were all dummies. MO soldiers naturally did not know the difference between a real person and a family member. They only needed to tear apart everything in front of them. Slash, so, signal lights shot into the sky one after another. Hidden in the temporary command center on the north side of the canyon, not far from the command center, Wu Changfeng abruptly slammed the table and stood up. Good, the fish has taken the bait. Brothers, let's slaughter these demon bastards. Sensing that the demon soldiers had fallen into an ambush, the controller quickly ordered the demon soldiers to retreat. However, just as they retreated to the outskirts of the encampment, they bumped into Wu Changfeng, who was rushing over. You're already here, yet you still want to run? Kill! Wu Changfeng tore off his clothes and charged at the demonic soldiers with his bare upper body while howling. Wang Lan, who was at the back of the group, was instantly excited. A real man should be like this. Wu Changfeng should be a metal-type Takashi Hoshi. This type of attribute was very rare but very powerful. After Wu Changfeng tore off his clothes, his body swelled up like a balloon. However, it was not the kind of swelling where the bigger you get, the more brittle you get. Instead, it was a terrifying growth of muscles like the Hulk transforming. As his muscles grew, his body gradually turned into a body of steel. He took the lead and charged in front of the demon soldiers at the very front. He raised a fist the size of a pot lid and punched at the biochemical soldiers. The biochemical soldiers were just war machines. They did not have thoughts, nor did they have fear. Even if they knew it was a mantis trying to stop a chariot, they would still resolutely swing their mantis blades at Wu Changfeng. The sharp blades swept past Wu Changfeng's body, leaving behind a trail of beautiful sparks on his silver-white body of steel. Then, there was no then. The demon soldier's head seemed to have been eaten by something and disappeared without a trace. One punch, instant kill. If the biochemical soldiers were war machines, then Wu Changfeng would be a war behemoth. His body was made of steel, and his strength was enough to topple mountains. If the biochemical soldiers had a mind of their own, how much despair would they feel when they fought a tank with such high attack and defense? In less than half an hour, the 300 demon soldiers were completely annihilated. Wu Changfeng alone took on half of the demon soldiers. He punched one demon soldier, sometimes a few demon soldiers. When the battle came to an end and all the biochemical soldiers were killed, the entire camp disappeared completely. Wu Changfeng walked with heavy steps. Every step he took was like a transformer, leaving behind a series of metal-clanging sounds. Wu Changfeng's body was completely covered in green blood. The original color of his silver-white body could no longer be seen. Little brother, these demon soldiers are not that great? Wang Lan frowned. He had thought that Wu Changfeng was a decent person. However, after getting to know him better, he realized that this fellow was not very decent. Wu Changfeng was a mid-stage galaxy-grade expert and a tank. Of course, he would think that the demon soldiers were not that great. How could Wang Lan let Wu Changfeng do as he wished, even though he knew that Wu Changfeng was just pretending? Well, they're just demon soldiers after all. To demons, they're just cannon fodder. No matter how many demons are killed, they will not feel any heartache. It took me half an hour to kill 300 demon soldiers. What a waste of time. After saying that, Wang Lan turned around and left decisively. Battalion commander, we have killed all the biochemical soldiers. Please give us further instructions. Takashi Hoshi shouted as he walked over to Wu Changfeng's side. Yes. By the way, how many of these demon soldiers did you encounter last time? 150. Takashi Hoshi looked at Wu Changfeng doubtfully. Had his brain turned into muscles after becoming a big guy? Hadn't he already reported it last time? His memory could not be that bad, right? How long did Wang Lan take to kill 150 demon soldiers? Probably less than a minute. Wu Changfeng's body gradually shrank and soon returned to his original size. TSK, what are you so proud of? Our fighting styles are different. Being fast does not mean that you are strong. Wu Changfeng was somewhat unconvinced. As a top student of Shanghai's Cebu Gakuen, he had been the one showing off in front of others all these years. Since when had his limelight been stolen by others? Reporting to battalion commander, of the 100 soldiers who participated in the operation, 12 were seriously injured and 33 were lightly injured. No one died. Hearing this, Wu Changfeng instantly exploded. He pointed at the pile of muddy things on the ground. You can even injure these things? The surrounding soldiers looked at Wu Changfeng with resentment in their eyes. In the past, an injured soldier was a loss of combat strength. Even a lightly injured soldier would not be able to fight again without 7 to 8 days of recuperation. Although the demons had paid the price of 300 biochemical soldiers, they had also lost 50 soldiers from Takashi Hoshi's army in exchange. Demon soldiers were products of quantity. To the demons, if they died, they died. At most, they could just recreate them. However, to be able to cause the loss of 50 soldiers from Takashi Hoshi's army was still a good deal. Of course, the premise was that Wang Lan did not exist. Come one by one, line up. 1 soul orb is lightly injured, 2 are heavily injured, 3 are on the verge of death. Soul orbs have a price, but lives are priceless. Do not hide your injuries. Are there any more on the verge of death? No? Then come in with the heavily injured ones. 2 soul orbs. Wang Lan shouted excitedly, like a street vendor soliciting business on the streets of a small town. 1 soul orb could not only replenish astral power, but also accumulate skill points. Good, very good. Zhang Xiaofei, 1st Lieutenant of the Zhenwu Regiment 3rd Battalion, heavily injured. Here are 2. Wait, don't speak. Wang Lan held Zhang Xiaofei down and tore open his clothes. Big brother, you call this heavily injured? It's just 1 soul orb. Do you have to go so far? Little brother, don't lie to me. I was just poked by a demon soldier's spike. Being heavily injured is the limit. If it were a Takashi Hoshi without medical treatment, this would be considered a minor injury. F***CK. Did you get poked by a nail? It went in from your chest and came out from your back, okay? It pierced through the lung and almost pierced through the heart. Dying, 3 soul orbs. Shame on you. I'm still conscious. How can this be considered dying? Also, even if it pierced through the lung, what does it have to do with my heart? Left lung. Also, there's a medical term for being conscious. It's called the final radiance of the setting sun. If you were 3 minutes late, you would have died. I'll treat you first. Big brother Rin, remember 3 soul orbs. Okay, my asteriskis. Old Rin, you can't help the evildoer. This guy is a Jobale. Can't you see that he's profiting from war? I can't tell, but I can see that you're spitting out bloody foam. Hiss, Zhang Xiaofei stared at Wang Lan angrily. You brat, press harder. My bloody foam is coming out from this bastard. F***CK. Comfortable. Be more reserved. Don't make it sound like you're in love. Okay, next. Liao Mingming, left artery injury, heavily injured. Damn, I can tolerate the piercing wound, but your throat was cut. How dare you say you're heavily injured? I used Takashi Hoshi to block the wound. At least I'm not in danger for now. Silly boy, you have to listen to the doctor. If you say you're not in danger, then you're not in danger. How can a mental patient say that he's not sick? Big brother run. Would you die if your neck was cut? Dying. Remember 3 soul orbs? It was noisy in the treatment room, and it was even noisier outside the treatment room. Damn, the medical awakened Takashi Hoshi in our military is so awesome. We almost have to call them daddy if we want to ask them for help. This Wang Lan is so straightforward. I thought he was a good comrade. Damn, he's a Zhou Bale. I only have a fracture in my calf. How can he call such a light injury a serious injury? 2 soul orbs. I only get 4 soul orbs per month. You should be content. If you're in a hospital outside, you'd be amputated. It's not wrong to call it a serious injury. I only have 2 broken ribs, and he's shameless enough to ask for 2 soul orbs. I can see that there's no such thing as a light injury in this Zhou Bale's dictionary. You're only injured a little, and he calls it a serious injury. Battalion Commander. Good morning, Battalion Commander. Good morning. How are our brothers? Battalion Commander, our brothers are in pain. Can't you be more promising? Is there anyone in the true martial army who's afraid of pain? Did you F** King sneak in? Our bodies don't hurt, but our hearts ache. Zhou Bale is too ruthless. 2 or 3 soul orbs are gone with each treatment. Chapter 41. In the central command room, Wu Changfeng was in high spirits as he looked at the group of officers seated below. The plan to lure the enemy has been a complete success. Last night, the demon's biochemical soldiers ambushed our command center. 300 biochemical soldiers were wiped out. Not a single one of us died. Applause rang out. But victory is only temporary and temporary. We only defeated a despicable ambush by the demons, but we have yet to eliminate the demons. From this plan to lure the enemy, I can see a few problems. There are advantages and disadvantages. First, the demons chose to ambush our command center. This means that the biochemical soldiers have a high intelligence commander. We already know that the biochemical soldiers have no intelligence or thoughts. However, they're strong in battle and fearless in their ignorance. However, if they only obeyed orders, they would be a terrifying elite army that obeyed orders without fail. Of course, this also allowed me to see that the demons do not have enough troops. If they had enough troops, they would not have needed to launch a plan to kill our command center. To the demons, the biochemical soldiers are consumables. They definitely do not have the intention to use the least amount of resources to obtain the greatest results. Therefore, the demons did not leave enough troops in the training field. In fact, the demons do not think they can defeat us in a direct confrontation. This is good news. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. Now that we have a rough understanding of the demons, the next step is to come up with a strategy. Last night, Battalion Commander Fu and I came up with a battle plan for this situation. We will call it the plowing plan. Wang Lan's mouth twitched. What kind of plans were shown on TV? Death plan, Thunder plan, Trojan Horse plan. You named it the plowing plan? I really wonder if your education was bought. As the name suggests, it means to search every nook and cranny of the training grounds and find all of those devil bastards. The training field is not big, but it is not small either. It is 40 kilometers long and wide. There are not many places that can hide so many people. We will form teams of 5, and each team will carry 3 types of signal sticks. Blue signals will mean that everything is safe. Green signals will mean that we have discovered a situation but do not need reinforcements. Red signals will mean that we have encountered a demon that we cannot defeat and need reinforcements. Red and blue signals will mean that we have discovered that the demon is chasing after us. Does everyone understand? Understood. Every squad will send out a signal every 15 minutes. If they don't send out a signal after half an hour, battalion headquarters will assume that they are dead. If the delay is not caused by unexpected factors, you will be punished according to military law. Do you understand? Understood. Meeting adjourned. Continue with the announcement. The meeting ended, but Wang Lan did not leave. Wu Changfeng and Fu Qiaoshi looked at Wang Lan curiously. Little brother, what's the matter? Wang Lan took out a small book from his chest. Big brother Wu, there's a total of 105 soul beads. I'll round off the odd number, so there's a total of 100. Thank you for your patronage. Speaking of this, Brother Wang, you're not being kind. Aren't you charging too much to treat our brothers? You were quite polite when you said that you would give the warriors free treatment as long as they provided soul orbs to replenish their astral power. But yesterday, you stripped those brothers down to their underwear. Does your conscience hurt? They risked their lives and bled for the country, and you even stripped them of their clothes. Hey. If you continue acting, you'll go overboard. Restrain yourself. You're a warrior who bleeds, but not tears. I'm just feeling sad for my brothers. Do you know what they called you last night? Little Wang, skinning, Big Brother Wu. Did they really say that about me? Wang Lan was so shocked that his eyes turned red. His eyes, which were more painful than his heart, were like a sharp sword that stabbed into Wu Changfeng's heart. Not good. A thought suddenly flashed in Wu Changfeng's mind. He had gone overboard with his acting. Wang Lan was bitterly disappointed. I really didn't expect. I didn't expect you to think of me this way. Last night, in order to save our brothers' lives, I didn't waste even a second. I didn't have enough astral power, so I used my own money to replenish it. In an entire hour, I used up 120 soul orbs. These soul orbs were exchanged with my life. Now, I want you to replenish 100 soul orbs. I lost 20 soul orbs, and they called me skinning. He looked up at the starry sky and sank into philosophical thoughts. Hey, little brother, don't be angry. It's too difficult for our brothers. It's true. It's not easy to accumulate soul orbs. We only get 3 or 4 soul orbs in a month, and we have to stay in this godforsaken place for half a year to a year. Look at what kind of environment this is. If it's not a desert, it's an ice field. If it's not lava, it's gales. We eat energy bars, hardtack, and drink filtered water. Occasionally, a kind-hearted trial taker would be willing to give us some outside food, but we can't bear to eat it. We have to wait for a good day to share a few bites with everyone. The moment you open your mouth, you ask for 2 or 3 soul orbs. Our brothers are heartbroken, but I also know that little brother has his own difficulties. Each soul orb was obtained by risking our lives to kill a mutated beast. With you around, none of our brothers died. Big brother is very happy. They may be happy on the surface, but you don't know how grateful they are to you in their hearts. Old Fu, 120 soul orbs. You can't let little brother suffer a loss, right? A man should be straightforward. Don't be stingy. Oh, Wang Lan's heartbroken expression gradually disappeared, and he sneered in his heart. Do you think I've spent all these years in Hongyan Studios for nothing? You want to compete with me in acting? KO. Old Fu quickly returned and handed a bag of soul orbs to Wang Lan with a pained expression. Although these expenses could be reimbursed by the military in the future, he was still very reluctant to take them out. Wang Lan happily received them. He didn't try to challenge their nerves on the spot. Suddenly, Wang Lan's smile disappeared, and his face became serious. Big Brother Wu, there's a problem. I haven't been able to figure it out. Could Big Brother Wu please enlighten me? Your farming plan, I keep feeling that it doesn't seem very reliable. Oh, let's hear it. Wu Changfeng was surprised, but he immediately asked with a smile. I remember that the 3rd Battalion only has 500 people. 500 people spread out to dig 3 feet into the ground in an area of 160 square kilometers. Moreover, the terrain is so complicated and the weather is so changeable. How long would it take to find them? It's not that I doubt our brothers' abilities, but if the demons just hide underground and don't come out, I keep feeling that it won't be easy to find them. Shouldn't the farming plan be carried out after the reinforcements arrive? Of course it won't be easy to find them. Then think again, why would I do this? If Brother Wu isn't too naive, then... Wang Lan's brain worked quickly, and his eyes quickly lit up. The real plan isn't the farming plan, but rather to lure the snake out of its hole. Oh, why do you say that? Wu Changfeng poured 2 cups of water and placed 1 cup beside Wang Lan's hand. Brother Wu said before that the demons aren't strong enough. At least, they don't have an overwhelming advantage over the 3rd Battalion. That's why Brother Wu is using this method of digging up sweet potatoes to find the demons' forces. But the demons also know about this situation, so they won't let us find them easily. If this stalemate continues, it's not good for the demons. The demons have to worry about being found, and they also have to worry about us asking for reinforcements. So, if I were the demons, I would definitely destroy the training field before the reinforcements arrive. And to destroy the training field, the first thing we have to do is destroy the 3rd Battalion. Are you waiting for them to carry out another decapitation operation? Smart. Looks like you have a talent for tactics. How about joining the Southeast Military Region in the future? With your ability, your talent, and your identity as a Takashi Hoshi, you'll at least be a general in the future. This will talk about the future later, but there's still something I don't understand. Our command center was randomly chosen, so the demons shouldn't know where it is, right? If you want to decapitate the demons, you should at least give them a target to decapitate. To hide the command center so well, and to have such a tight security. Wu Changfeng laughed. Little brother, what's fake is real, and what's real is fake. If we deliberately expose a flaw for the demons to see, would the demons still dare to decapitate us? What we want is to be invulnerable. The more invulnerable it is, the more the demons will believe us. But if there's no hook, how will the fish take the bait? That's because you haven't systematically studied tactics and strategies. You'll understand when you go to university. Never think of your enemy as an idiot. On the contrary, you should try to overestimate your enemy's ability and come up with a response plan. If I don't give them a flaw, will the demons not be able to find the command center? I believe that they will find a way. Early in the morning, the battle plan began. Nearly 70 search teams scattered around in a seemingly disorderly manner and began a carpet search. On the other side, in a quiet secret room, 3 people were still sitting under the dim light. It's already been 2 days, and we don't have much time left. I estimate that the Takashi Hoshi's reinforcements will arrive in 4 days. 4 days? How much do you look down on the Jade State's army? The Birds of Paradise promised to buy us 4 days, but this time will be cut in half. 2 days. Yes, by tonight at the latest, the reinforcements will enter the training field, and will be the dumpling filling in the middle. Then what should we do? So the plan begins now? It has to be now. Reporting, Team Number 10 has sent out a red and blue signal. They found traces of the demons and are tracking them. Reporting position Number 10. The other party hurried to the sand table in front of them and inserted the Number 10 flag into the position where Number 10 had sent out the signal flare. Reporting, Team Number 17 has sent out a red and blue signal. They found traces of the demons and are tracking them. Reporting position Number 17. Reporting, Team Number 18 has sent out a red and blue signal. Reporting, Team Number 9 has sent out a red and blue signal. Soon, the reports rang out one after another, and 10 teams quickly appeared in various parts of the map. The demons are crazy, appearing everywhere and thinking that they could defeat us one by one with just a few small teams. How naive. Fu Xiaoshi looked at the messy flags that almost covered the entire sand table. Wang Lan frowned, and his eyes flashed. Brother Wu, let all the teams report their positions again. Okay. Wu Changfeng actually had no objections to this suggestion and decisively gave the order. Reporting, Team Number 10 has been confirmed. Reporting, Team Number 19 has been confirmed. Soon, the new position of the flag on the sand table appeared. It wasn't too far from the previous position, and the furthest was less than a kilometer. When they saw the new position of the flag, Fu Xiaoshi and Wu Changfeng's expressions changed. How could this be? Chapter 42. Although the distance the flags moved was short, the direction they were moving in was very orderly. If one looked at only one team, there would be no problem, but all 10 teams were moving away from the Central Command Center. There was only one explanation. How did the demons determine the location of the central command center? The investigation team didn't report anything? Fu Xiaoshu scolded with a gloomy face. Old Fu, don't get angry. I'm afraid things aren't as we think. That's right. I'm guessing that the demons still don't know the location of the central command center. But they're determining. Wang Lan touched his chin and said in a low voice. Wang Lan, tell us what you think. The teams that found the demons are at the outermost area. There are only 12 of them, not all of them. And these teams are moving away from us to chase after the biohazard demons. Report, Team 25 sent out the red and blue signals. Report, Team 3 sent out the red and blue signals. Sure enough, Teams 3 and 25 are closer to us. The demons have successfully narrowed down the area. This means that they're using a very effective method to quickly eliminate the location of our central command center. If they've already determined the location, all the teams will be lured away in a very short time. Ha! The demons didn't disappoint me. They're not stupid. They were able to lock onto our location so quickly. Report, Team 24 escorted a team of trial takers back. What? Why are there trial takers? Let Team 24 come in. Report, how did you find the trial takers? Where did you find them? Report, we found them here. The team leader pointed at the sand table and said, when we found them, they had been starving for many days. According to their account, they were forced into a desperate situation by the snow spiders. Later, they were unlucky and were trapped in an ice cave. They lost their signal and tried to call for help, but no one heard them. If we didn't scout that place, they wouldn't have been found even if they starved to death. How did you come back? Wang Lan hurriedly asked. The team leader of Team 24 hesitated for a moment, but quickly drew on the sand table. Through the Gold Beast tribe, across the ice river, through the Valley of Wind, around the forest. Looks like there's something wrong with this trial taker team. Oh, how could you tell? Isn't it obvious? The first teams that were discovered happened to be on both sides of this route. When Team 24 passed by, they led these teams in the opposite direction. Even if we're not sure where our headquarters is, we're definitely heading in the right direction. This team of trial takers was the demon race's positioning device. Since the team has arrived at the headquarters, the demons must have confirmed the location of the headquarters. Number 24's face turned pale when he heard that. Thinking about it again, he instantly understood everything. The demons didn't know where the command center was, so they let the trial takers carry a tracking device. As for himself, he just happened to happily send the trial taker team that carried the GPS to the command center. What was this called during wartime? Collusion with the enemy. In an instant, the captain's face darkened. Bastards, I'll kill them. Wait, can we take them away? Old Fu quickly asked. Of course not. As long as we stop the tracking, the demons will have already set the coordinates. Their next step is to attack the headquarters. Kill that team. Fu Xiaoshu shouted, his face filled with killing intent. No, confirm their identities first. Are they really colluding with the enemy? What if they don't even know that they're carrying the demon's tracking device? Wu Changfeng quickly said, we're soldiers of the people, not bandits. Saying that, Wu Changfeng turned around and walked out of the door. Wang Lan quickly followed. In the center of the camp, 7 haggard Takashi Hoshi were huddled together, trembling. No one knew what they had been through these past few days. Your names, identities, and which faction do you belong to? Wu Changfeng walked out of the door and asked the group of trial takers. We're from District 9's Wasteland Reclamation Army. We came back last month to reorganize. We, Big Brother Wu, kill them all. Wang Lan glanced at them and said calmly, why? I've seen these people before. They're the ones who stole the Snow Spider Queen and caused the Snow Spider riot. When I saw them, I saw the Spider Emperor chasing after them. With their strength, they definitely wouldn't have survived. The only possibility is that they were saved by the demons, or they're demons themselves. No, we're really humans. We're not demons. You have to believe me, stop. Roar. Suddenly, the 7 people in front of him let out a violent roar. In an instant, their bodies twisted and changed, and in the blink of an eye, They turned into 7 ferocious and terrifying demons. Kill. 7 low-level, transformed demons fell into the headquarters of the Takashi Hoshi garrison, and their identities were exposed on the spot. It was easy to imagine what would happen to them. Any one of the people present could kill them on their own, let alone over 100 elite experts. In less than a second, the 7-man team was bombarded to the point where only debris was left on the ground. When the dust settled, everyone looked up at Wu Changfeng. Wu Changfeng's eyes were also serious. The foreplay is almost over. It's almost time for the main show. All units, be on alert. Level 1 combat alert. The demons may launch a beheading attack on the headquarters at any time. Unfortunately, those demon bastards probably don't know that I'm a metal-type Takashi Hoshi. My head is very hard. They won't be able to cut it. Yes. 3 seconds later, a sharp alarm sounded. Wang Lan, we'll leave our medical mission to you. With you, I'm not afraid, even if the demons have 3 times the number of soldiers. If you have any requests, I'm afraid I won't be able to take care of you when the battle starts. Brother Wu, your words are putting a lot of pressure on me. As long as there are enough soul orbs, I guarantee that even if I'm only half alive, I'll be able to get my brothers back in one piece. That's good. I'll give you all the soul orbs in the warehouse. But there aren't many. Use them sparingly. It's not enough. Aren't there so many mutated beasts? Those are the country's property. Without the country's permission, we can't touch a single one. Don't you think it's very pedantic? But this is discipline. I understand. Don't take a needle and thread. Wang Lan smiled respectfully. Suddenly, he saluted Wu Changfeng. I guarantee to complete the mission. I'll leave it to you. Wang Lan returned to the rear to wait for orders. His heartstrings suddenly tightened. Enemy attack. Reporting. Demons' biochemical soldiers have been discovered in the canyon south of the headquarters. There are around 300 of them. Only 300. Wu Changfeng tapped his fingers in confusion. Battalion commander, 300 isn't a lot. We only have 100 people in the headquarters. Inform the brothers in the search team to stop playing around. It's time for the main course. Yes. Reporting. Team 7 has sent a green signal. Reporting. Team 9 has sent a green signal. Reporting. Team 17 has sent a green signal. Continuous reports rang out, and the quiet primary trial field suddenly erupted with the flames of war, instantly spreading throughout the entire primary trial field. Battalion commander, the situation isn't right. The brothers that were sent out have all been blocked off. Not a single team has been able to return. We couldn't have fallen into a trap, right? I understand now. What a demons. I thought I had overestimated them, but I still underestimated them. I was wondering why only 300 biochemical soldiers came to kill us. So that's the real plan. This is a beautiful move. We must report this to the headquarters after this is over. The commander of the demons isn't an idiot. This is a stroke of genius. He actually evened out the strength of both sides. We sent out 400 brothers to confuse the demons. The demons beat us at our own game and directly cut off these 400 brothers. They already knew how many people we have in the headquarters. They know that the headquarters only has 100 people. They sent out 300, which is 3 times our military strength. They aren't any weaker. The remaining soldiers only need to prevent the brothers that were sent out from returning. They are under less pressure than us. Using 300 biochemical soldiers to devour our entire headquarters is a good deal. Then what do we do? What else can we do with bayonets? Of course we fight. Let's see if 300 soldiers are enough for us to eat. Battalion commander, are you going to make a move? If the demon general doesn't come out, I can't make a move. Who knows if the demons aren't watching our headquarters? Takashi Hoshi run. Here, Takashi Hoshi Ren's figure flashed and appeared in front of Wu Changfeng. You're the leader. Lead everyone to block the biochemical soldiers. I promise to complete the mission. The battle outside suddenly started. Other than Wu Changfeng and his 10 bodyguards, all the soldiers went to the front lines to block the biochemical soldiers. The battle erupted outside the headquarters, less than 500 meters away. Wu Changfeng stood on a makeshift watchtower and watched the battle through binoculars. 100 soldiers against 300 biochemical soldiers. Moreover, these biochemical soldiers were all killing machines created for war. Even if all the soldiers left behind were elites, there was still a lot of pressure in terms of strength. Wang Lan's heart suddenly tensed up. This was a real war. It was so exciting. Half a month ago, Wang Lan thought that he was born in a peaceful era and grew up in a rich and powerful country. Although becoming a Takashi Hoshi was indeed dangerous, it wasn't a big problem as long as he was careful. But in just half a month, he saw a war. Moreover, he was personally on the battlefield and became a part of it. Life's fate was indeed like a dream. The battle of a battalion obviously couldn't be described as a local conflict. The demons, this terrible nightmare that haunted human history, had once again awakened and sharpened their blades to attack human civilization. "Quick, quick!" A shout came from outside the door. A soldier covered in blood was carried into Wang Lan's room by 2 bodyguards. F*CK, I'm so useless. I'm actually the first one to go. F*CK, F*THK. Don't get too excited. There will be plenty of opportunities. Quickly tear off the clothes covering the wound. Ah! When Wang Lan pressed his palm on the wound, the soldier suddenly screamed. "Babysitter, gently, gently, it hurts." Just because of your name, you have to use more force. No, I'm wrong. Babysitter, babysitter, can I call you daddy? Warm, comfortable. Chapter 43. Less than 10 minutes into the battle, the wounded were sent back. After the first wounded returned to the battlefield, the speed at which the wounded were sent back became noticeably faster. With mothers at the back, there was no need to panic. The Takashi Hoshi army at the front line finally realized that they had an awesome healer at the back. To hell with minor injuries, stay on the front line and face death with equanimity for serious injuries. As long as the battle was affected, retreat and heal. Those who stayed on the front line and couldn't fight would be sent back to the front line. If they could fight with their full strength, why play hero? After 20 minutes of battle, Wang Lan had successfully healed 30 people. Surprisingly, not a single one of them had died. On the other hand, more than 20 of the biochemical fiends at the front line were killed. If this continued, the scales of victory would be completely tipped in less than an hour. Everything else was perfect except for the consumption of soul orbs. The orderlies transporting the wounded back and forth watched Wang Lan absorb the soul orbs one by one to replenish his astral power. Their hearts ached so much that they found it hard to breathe. Most of the current Takashi Hoshi army hadn't experienced a real war. Even the true force, which was known as the elite of the elite, had only participated in local combat missions. Some of them weren't even considered warm-up. At this moment, the orderlies truly understood the essence of the phrase, fighting a war is fighting money. One soul orb sold for 80,000 outside, and you absorb 7 or 8 in a minute. Even if the internal recovery price was 1,000, you use more than 10,000 in 1 or 2 minutes. Rich, inhumane, but no matter how fast Wang Lan consumed the soul orbs, the soldiers only felt gratitude. What was a mere soul orb when they could return to the battlefield with full health? Another 20 minutes passed, and the search team that was isolated outside the command center still couldn't find a way to provide support. Outside the command center, the scales of the battle were subtly tilting. Logically speaking, the biochemical fiends weren't weak at all whether it was a blitzkrieg or a protracted battle. Half an hour was enough to tear apart the defense line of the command center, and they could definitely finish the battle within an hour. But why? Why didn't the Takashi Hoshi army have any expenditure? The soldiers who had retreated with serious injuries actually returned to the battlefield as lively as dragons and tigers. At first, the commander of the demons wondered if they had fallen into a trap again. There are more than 100 guards in the command center. However, he quickly denied this conjecture. He had already investigated the number of soldiers in the Jinwu Regiment's 3rd Battalion. There were 400 soldiers pinned down outside, and there was no doubt that there were only 100 soldiers in Takashi Hoshi's command center. Then, as long as one wasn't stupid, it was easy to think of a possibility. There's a top medical Takashi Hoshi in Takashi Hoshi's command center. He might even be a galaxy-grade medical Takashi Hoshi. Then what should we do? Let the demon generals attack the command center directly? It's useless. The demonized general shook his head and said, Wu Changfeng has yet to appear, but I'm certain that he's with the medical awakened Takashi Hoshi. It seemed that he could only send out the demon generals to meet force with force. In the current situation, he could only draw his sword. Is Wu Changfeng stronger? Or is our devil general stronger? However, infernal generals cannot easily participate in battle. Once an accident occurs to an infernal general, the biochemical infernal soldiers will fall into chaos. This rule is no longer applicable now. There are no military laws or rules. There are only life and death and victory and defeat. Boom! Suddenly, there was a sudden change in the battle at the front line. The cliff behind the biochemical infernal soldiers suddenly exploded with a loud bang, and a huge, terrifying figure that was 5 meters tall appeared in front of Takashi Hoshi's army. The lower body of the huge figure was that of the Snow Spider Emperor. The only difference was that it had pitch-black armor and sharp, blade-like feet. The upper body of the biochemical infernal soldier was 3 times larger. The demon general was extremely fast, and he immediately joined the battle the moment he appeared. In just 1 second, at least 10 people in Takashi Hoshi's army were killed. Under the demon general's terrifying speed and powerful strength, the nebula Takashi Hoshi could not resist at all. Bastard! Wu Changfeng roared. The moment he roared, his body turned into a stream of light and jumped down from the watchtower. His body quickly expanded in the air, and by the time he landed, he was already a huge figure close to 3 meters tall. His steel-like body not only gave Wu Changfeng great strength and defense, it also gave him terrifying explosive power and speed. When he landed, the earth shook. With a leap, he crossed 500 meters and slammed into the rampaging biochemical infernal soldier. Roar! The demon general instantly sensed the threat above his head. He no longer cared about slaughtering Takashi Hoshi's army. He raised his head, and the armor on his chest instantly turned red. He opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blue flames, enveloping Wu Changfeng in a sea of fire. Die! Boom! Although his steel-like body could not withstand high temperature, it was not impossible for him to withstand it for even a second. Even a 5,000-degree flame would take some time to melt steel. Pressing down on the demon general, Wu Changfeng picked up a fist the size of a pot lid and rained down a barrage of punches on the demon general's face. After 5 or 6 punches, Wu Changfeng suddenly jumped down from the demon general's body. He looked down at his knees, where molten iron was meandering. Not only did the demon general have astonishing defense and attack power, but its heat was also shocking. Its body temperature was at least 3,000 degrees, and fire was an effective threat to metal. This is troublesome, Wu Changfeng thought gravely. The experimental data from before did not indicate that the demon general was of the fire attribute, nor could it produce such a high temperature. Roar! The demon general stood up again and let out a terrifying roar at Wu Changfeng. This roar also woke Wu Changfeng up. Wu Changfeng instantly made a decision. You guys continue killing the biochemical infernal soldiers. I'll fight this guy one-on-one. As soon as Wu Changfeng finished speaking, his body suddenly exploded, turning into a stream of light that crashed into the demon general. Then, the two of them rolled into the distance like a pair of yin and yang fish. Battalion Commander Takashi Hoshi shouted excitedly. Aldrin, what do we do? What else can we do? Kill. At the rear, Wang Lan suddenly frowned, because no new wounded had been sent back for nearly 30 seconds. Previously, another one would arrive immediately after they healed one, but suddenly, there was a gap of half a minute. This gap did not mean that it was a good thing. Other than the extremely small possibility that no one was injured, there was an even more terrifying possibility that someone had died, and it was a sudden death that did not even give them a chance to save them. Quick, quick! Here! A few seconds later, Another wounded person was sent down. Wang Lan hurriedly pressed his sinful palm on his wound. What happened just now? Why didn't any wounded person come over in 30 seconds? The demon general appeared. Damn, he's too strong. In an instant, more than 10 of our brothers were gone. Xiao Hei, Z was right next to me, less than 3 meters away. But I didn't even have time to save him. F***CK. His family is depending on him. As expected, where's the battalion commander? Did he make a move? The battalion commander went to fight the demon general one-on-one. Leave the rest of the demon brats to us, okay? The battle is very intense. Okay, be careful, survive. Of course, survive. I'll treat you to a drink next time. Quick, nurse, little 5 can't hold on. F***CK, call him daddy. In this highly tense situation, everyone's nerves were stretched taut. There was no longer any modesty, poise, or respect. As long as they could vent, they did not need to think before speaking. He pressed his wound with one hand and picked up a soul bead with the other. Where's his hand? F***CK, where's his hand? F***CK, I was holding just now. Did I drop it? Bastard, I'm going to die in your hands sooner or later. I gave you my hand, and you can F***king lose it? Do you believe that I'll lose your D***CK next time? I found an arm. Whose is it? Mine, it's here. Wang Lan grabbed the arm and pressed it tightly on Little Five's broken arm. He activated his star power and wondered if the broken arm could be healed as perfectly as the wound. Try and see if you can use the arm that's reattached. Why can't I use it? I felt my arm come back as soon as you pressed on it. I'm going to kill another demon brat. Wang Lan was busier than before. Before, he could save one person in 7 or 8 seconds, but now he had to save 2 at the same time. It meant that the battle outside had reached its climax. The demons also realized that this was their last chance to fight. Once Takashi Hoshi survived this wave, the ratio of their numbers would be 1-to-1. In a 1-to-1 battle, Takashi Hoshi's army had an absolute advantage. Wang Lan had no time to check his skill points or breathe. All he could hear was the sound of the battle and the groans of the wounded. He pressed his hand on the hideous wounds of the wounded. He could not remember how many people he had saved or how many minutes or seconds it had lasted. When he sent away a wounded person, Wang Lan suddenly realized that there were no more wounded people under his hand. What's going on? Brother Wang, we've held them back. We've held them back. The demons don't have the advantage in numbers. Our brothers have started to counterattack. The demons are one-sided. How's Brother Wu? Well, I can't see, but there's a lot of movement. Looks like they're doing their last fight. Wang Lan quickly focused and glanced at his skill points. He had more than 1,800 skill points in the past 2 days. Without hesitation, he put all 1,800 skill points into the Phoenix form. Wang Lan stood up with a righteous look on her face. She was the main character in the final ending of the movie. She strode forward without any hesitation. Just as he reached the door, he was stopped by 2 people in front of him. Little brother, where are you going? There's something wrong with your expression. Why do I feel like you're a martyr? Your eyes are drifting. Can't you see that I'm walking with the steps of King? Since there are no wounded soldiers that need my treatment, I should join the battle. Stop fooling around. You're so excited that you're confused. Did you forget that you're a healer? No, I've never thought of myself as a healer. Although God gave me the gift of healing, I still have the heart of a warrior. I'm sorry. My mission is to ensure your safety and stop all actions that threaten your safety. You can't stop me. Wang Lan smiled faintly. Brother He, remember what I said. What? Not all healers are called losers. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a beautiful phoenix tail flower mark suddenly appeared between Wang Lan's eyebrows. The moment the mark appeared, a gust of wind exploded. He Chong stared blankly at Wang Lan's vision that had long disappeared. His brain lost the ability to think. Chapter 44. The demon general in front of him had already turned into a giant lava beast. Its originally black carapace had completely turned dark red, and its entire body was burning with bright red sticky flames. Wu Changfeng covered his stomach and retreated to the side. On his stomach, molten iron dripped down along the gaps between his fingers. When a molten iron fell to the ground, it formed bright red metal lumps on the ground. Mutated beasts had a natural advantage in terms of astral energy. Under the same circumstances, mutated beasts had several times or even dozens of times more astral energy than humans. Human scientists had studied it before and came to an unproven conclusion. Soul orbs could quickly absorb and convert astral energy. Mutated beasts and demons both had soul orbs. This was something that belonged to them, their power. As for humans, although they had astral energy and star palaces, they did not have soul orbs. Just now, he had accidentally been pierced by the demon general spikes. Blood gushed out and dripped down. As for the wound, Wu Changfeng could not metallize it. Not only did the wound bring about intense pain, it also affected his mobility. As for the demon general in front of him, although it looked like it was riddled with scars, it was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. The battle of the brothers behind him had already ended, but Wu Changfeng knew that this was the only place that could truly determine victory and change the outcome of the battle. If the demon general won, none of the brothers behind him would be a match for it. The elementary training field would still be slaughtered in a very short period of time, and then it would be destroyed and closed. Therefore, Wu Changfeng could not lose. Not only could he not lose, he had to win. With a clear mission, it did not matter how he did it. The piercing pain in his lower abdomen made it difficult for Wu Changfeng to breathe. It's time to set off fireworks. I don't know if Qin Qin will be able to take it. The child is still young. I don't know if he will still remember me as his father when he grows up. Wu Changfeng's mouth suddenly revealed a sinister smile. The demon general in front of him was rapidly charging over. Come! Wu Changfeng roared towards the sky. His aura soared, and he had great hopes of the heavens. With the sword in hand, I am the hero with the lofty aspirations of the heavens. Boom! The demon general in front of him flew backwards, and Wu Changfeng's sinister expression froze. He had finally decided to be a hero for once, but the demon general did not give him a chance. Brother Wu, how are you? Wang Lan clapped his hands and looked at Wu Changfeng's abdomen, which was still bleeding. Why are you here? Wu Changfeng cried out in surprise, but his eyes were fixed on the phoenix tail flower between Wang Lan's eyebrows, as well as the blazing blood mist around him. Phoenix form. It was indeed in the form of a phoenix. Wang Lan hurried forward and pressed Wu Changfeng's lower abdomen. Star power surged, and in just 2 seconds, the wound on Wu Changfeng's lower abdomen was healed. Then, Wang Lan took out the Spider Emperor's soul orb and placed it in front of Wu Changfeng. Brother Wu, can you reimburse me? Tisk, it's just a high-level soul orb. It's not something rare in the military. I'll reimburse you. Wu Changfeng laughed loudly and snatched the Spider Emperor's soul orb, instantly reviving with full health. 2 galaxy-grade Takashi Hoshi. This battle is in. Don't. I can only hold on for 3 minutes. I have to finish the battle within 3 minutes. Big Brother Wu, I'll create an opportunity for you to kill him. Okay. The demon general, who had been sent flying by the 1-inch punch, shook his head and stood up again. His blood-red eyes stared at the sky as he roared. In his phoenix form, Wang Lan had once blasted the Spider Emperor into pieces with a single punch. However, the demon general in front of him didn't seem to be injured at all. The difference between a galaxy grade and a nebula was indeed like heaven and earth. There's no chance. Let's retreat. Under the dim light, the young man slowly stood up. Is the demon general dead? No, but he's dead for sure. Wu Changfeng might have a 50% chance against 1 galaxy grade, but against 2 galaxy grade experts, he's dead for sure. 2. Where did 2 come from? When did the true Martial 3rd Battalion have another galaxy grade expert? I don't know. I can't see through the demon general's eyes. Maybe reinforcements have arrived? However, the demon general's senses can't be wrong. Another galaxy grade expert has arrived. Sigh. We've already tried our best, but we still failed. We can't be blamed for this failure. We didn't make the plan, so there's nothing wrong with our execution. I don't think the Empire will blame us. Let's go. The light dimmed. There wasn't much time left for Wang Lan. Therefore, after formulating the plan, Wang Lan's figure instantly rushed toward the demon general. He was so fast that he left behind afterimages. The demon general also realized that Wang Lan wasn't someone to be trifled with. Flames spewed out of his body and covered it completely. Even Wu Changfeng couldn't withstand such hot flames for more than 3 seconds. However, in front of Wang Lan, who was in his phoenix form, the temperature of these flames, was there any temperature? Phoenixes were divine birds that could be reborn from fire, so flames were like swimming pools to them. In his phoenix form, Wang Lan was immune to all fire attribute attacks. In an instant, Wang Lan rushed in front of the demon general. 1-inch punch. Boom! A ball of ripples exploded on the demon general's chest, and the flames around the demon general's body instantly rippled out along with the ripples. It's so hard. Wang Lan's expression changed drastically. The demon general's armor covered 100% of its body, and the hardness of its armor was comparable to that of high-hardness alloys, at least 80 degrees. In an instant, Wang Lan realized that an ordinary 1-inch punch wouldn't be able to break through the demon general's defenses. The demon general was sent flying once more. Wang Lan had underestimated the demon general's defenses, but the demon general had overestimated the protection of its flames. It hadn't expected someone to be able to ignore its hellfire and take Wang Lan's punch without dodging. Its body was sent flying once more, slamming into the cliff behind it. Wang Lan instantly took advantage of the moment the demon general's body froze, and he once again arrived at the demon general's chest. 1-inch punch, triple fold punch. Fingertips, knuckles, fist. In an inch, the 3 superimposed, erupting with 3 times the power of the 1-inch punch. This was a move that Wang Lan wasn't willing to use lightly under any circumstances. If it didn't hold back with the triple fold punch, the bones in Wang Lan's hand would instantly shatter under the force of the punch, and it would be a smashing fracture. The powerful force of the triple fold punch finally left a fine crack on the demon general's breastbone armor. Wang Lan's body instantly turned, dodging the demon general's mantis blade, and his left hand once again punched out like lightning. Triple fold punch. Another move, successfully hitting the same spot. Crack. Bang. The armor on the demon general's chest finally burst open after 2 rounds of triple fold punch, and cracks spread all over the demon general's chest like a spider web. Big Brother Wu. Wang Lan roared and dodged to the side. Wu Changfeng's figure was like a stream of light, almost brushing past Wang Lan's body to arrive in front of the demon general. His arm had already completely transformed into a medieval knight's lance. The violent, barbaric charge, coupled with the terrifying, penetrative power of the knight's lance's rapid rotation. Boom! The breastbone armor on the demon general's chest burst open, and a lance pierced the demon general's chest. The demon general's body was completely pressed against the hard cliff wall. TCH. The knight's lance that pierced the demon general's body instantly burst open, and countless steel needles bloomed in the demon general's body like fireworks. The demon general suddenly let out a shrill scream, and after 3 seconds, the flames were extinguished and the body was completely still. Leapfrog kill, reward. 800 EXP, 80 skill points. The system's notification in his mind made Wang Lan's hanging heart completely relax. The moment the demon general was killed, the biochemical demon soldiers that were blocking Takashi Hoshi's reinforcements were instantly thrown into chaos. They didn't differentiate between friend and foe, and started killing each other. The various groups quickly retreated to the side and looked at the changes in the battle with a dumbfounded expression. The demon general is dead. Did we win? We won. The soldiers who came to their senses cheered loudly, and the cheers from all over the mountains and plains gathered in the sky above the trial field. Catch! Wu Changfeng lightly threw an item to Wang Lan. Ha! Wang Lan looked and saw a soul, or the size of an egg, fall into his palm. It's reimbursed. Hey, Brother Wu, this soul orb was originally mine, right? Even if we work together, it's still half of mine. You're reimbursing me for something that belongs to me? Can't you have some integrity? What do you mean by something that belongs to you? All the spoils of war belong to the military, and the soldiers are not allowed to keep them. This soul orb isn't mine, and it isn't yours either. I've already broken the rules by reimbursing you. What else do you have to say? Wu Changfeng glared at him and shouted, I'm F*** King losing money. Who told you there's money to be made in war? War is a loss to begin with. Not good. Suddenly, Wang Lan's face turned pale as he screamed. What's wrong? Wu Changfeng suddenly became nervous and hurriedly looked around, but didn't find anything dangerous. My time is up. As soon as he finished speaking, the phoenix tail flower on Wang Lan's forehead disappeared, and his body instantly fell to the ground in an extremely twisted posture, as if his soul had been sucked out. His face was pressed against the ground, and his butt was raised high. If not for the fact that his body was still twitching, he would have thought that he would be immortal. Oh, this side effect really came at the right time. Wu Changfeng laughed mockingly and gently picked up Wang Lan, who was in the posture of a wild goose landing on the ground, and carried Wang Lan on his shoulder like a sack, then turned and left. Not long after the battle ended, military reinforcements arrived. The true martial group's commander, He Jinze, was dressed in a military uniform with a colonel epaulet on his shoulder. He listened to Wu Changfeng's report with his hands behind his back. Captain, that's the gist of it. Although we've thwarted one of the demon race's schemes, I believe that the demon race isn't just targeting the primary trial grounds. It's possible that they have similar schemes in the advanced trial grounds or in other trial grounds. Their plan is a strategic one. Destroying our training fields is equivalent to breaking the foundation of our Takashi Hoshi's growth. Once the plan succeeds, the growth of the new Takashi Hoshi will be suppressed, and the source of soul orbs will be obstructed, greatly weakening the strength of our human race. Your guess is very likely. After returning, I will truthfully make a risk assessment to the Ministry of National Defense, and I will also submit your conjecture. You've done very well this time, foiling the demon scheme at a very small price. You're worthy of being my troops. Commander, you flatter me. You're not such a humble person in my heart. Although the demons failed this time, we can't guarantee that there won't be any fish that escape the net. Temporarily close the training fields, and wait until the training fields are completely cleaned up before opening them again. Yes, that's right. That guy called Wang Lan. Can he really transform into a phoenix? Yes. Wu Changfeng only replied with a single word before shutting up. What? Why don't you continue? I promised him that I would keep it a secret for him. Keep it a secret, my ass. In his information, his mother is Wang Ling. These 4 words are written so clearly. Do you think there's any point in keeping it a secret? Seeing Wu Changfeng's doubtful expression, He Jinze laughed strangely. He Jinze, am from the 1997 Cebu, Gakuen Imperial City. Wang Ling is my junior sister from the same sect. You're keeping it a secret with me? Chapter 45. Completed the mission to save the beginner trial field. Reward: 30,000 experience, 500 skill points. Wang Lan originally wanted to sleep a little longer, but the reminder in his mind woke Wang Lan up. After waking up, the negative effects of using the phoenix form flooded Wang Lan's mind like a tsunami. In an instant, Wang Lan only wanted someone to give him a quick death. Wang Lan finally realized that the effects of the phoenix form were directly proportional to the time it was used. The first time it was used for 5 seconds, and it would recover after 2 hours. The second time it was used for 30 seconds, and it would be 3 hours without meaning to live. And this time, it was used for 3 minutes, and he had already been unconscious for 5 hours. But now, other than wanting to die, he didn't have any other thoughts. After an unknown amount of time, as if he had endured torture after torture in hell, Wang Lan finally didn't feel that uncomfortable anymore. Resisting the splitting headache, he opened the system to check. First was the character page. Good Lord, Starlight 3. Completing this mission actually allowed Wang Lan to evolve from Starlight 1 to Starlight 3. His HP and blue bars have been greatly increased, and his basic stats had undergone an earth-shattering change. His strength exceeded the 20-point mark, his agility, defense, and other stats all broke through 15. What did this mean? Normal people's physical fitness limit was 10. Most people's physical fitness was 6, and after years of training, they would only reach 7 or 8. To be able to reach 10 points in physical fitness, that was 1 in 10,000 existence since ancient times. In Wang Lan, at this moment, his physical fitness exceeded the 1 in 10,000 existence from ancient times to the present by more than 1. 5 times. He had truly surpassed the limits of humans, reaching a level that wasn't human. In other words, if he were to participate in a normal human sports event, unless it was a skill-based one, he would be able to easily get first place. The increase in physical attributes was just a side effect. What really made Wang Lan happy was the increase in star power. Starlight 3, Wang Lan had completely bid farewell to being a weakling and had become the backbone of the Takashi Hoshi world. But the problem was, he had only awakened as a Takashi Hoshi half a month ago. Thinking like this, Wang Lan was a bit carried away. His skill points were all used up by the Phoenix form, and the mission reward was a mere 500 skill points. Was it a loss? If he didn't use skill points, how could he complete the quest? How could he level up if he didn't complete the mission? Skill points were money. Money was a bastard, and being so good-looking, Tui, he could earn more if he ran out. To Wang Lan, as long as he could level up, it was worth it no matter how many skill points he spent. 500 skill points was not a small amount. After he got out of here, he could go to the Takashi Hoshi Guild Hall and buy a few Takashi Hoshi skill books. His combat power would increase instantly. It was common knowledge that the Heavenly Body tier was not suitable for learning Takashi Hoshi. The Heavenly Body tier's astral power was limited. Even the lowest level Takashi Hoshi could only be used a few times, so it was meaningless. Besides, Wang Lan was not short of money. Why would he buy a low-level Takashi Hoshi? If he wanted to learn, he had to learn something awesome. And the minimum requirement to learn Takashi Hoshi was star blazing. Therefore, leveling up was the foundation for Wang Lan to become stronger. Don't pretend to be asleep since you're awake. An unfamiliar voice sounded in his ear. It was so close that it was as if the person was sitting beside his bed. However, Wang Lan had been awake for so long, but he did not feel anything at all. Instantly, Wang Lan opened his eyes and looked to the side nervously. It was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s. However, he was very handsome. His face was masculine and handsome, and the stubble on his cheeks made him look especially sexy. This kind of old man was very lethal to young girls, but to a male creature like Wang Lan, he was completely immune to the miss. Wang Lan looked at the man's face and saw his epaulette. Damn, Colonel, a very high-ranking officer. The Jade State's military officers were divided into 3 classes and 12 levels. Although the rank of colonel was considered middle, the higher the rank, the fewer there were. In the ordinary army, a colonel would be a brigade or deputy division officer. Takashi Hoshi's military rank would be 1 level higher. So, the man in front of him should be a regiment officer? My name is Jinza. I'm the commander of the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces Zhenwu Regiment in the Southeast Military Region. As expected, I have a question now. How did you learn the Phoenix form? Jinza held a pen in his hand and opened a small notebook in front of him. He looked at Wang Lan expectantly as he prepared to take notes. This question was like a bomb that exploded in Wang Lan's mind. He wasn't asking where she learned it, nor was he asking how she learned it. He was asking how she learned it. Wang Lan couldn't figure out what the other party meant. You don't have to feel burdened. Your Phoenix form was obtained openly. No one will have any objections. Also, you don't have to worry. No one will dare to have any thoughts about your Phoenix form. These words were a promise to Wang Lan. No one would dare to. It was not that no one wanted to. Even if someone had any thoughts about it, they would not have the guts to do so. These words made Wang Lan a little curious about Di Lao's faction or the power behind his mother that Wu Changfeng had mentioned earlier. As far as I know, You learned the Phoenix form not long after you awakened Takashi Hoshi's innate talent, right? The conditions for learning the Phoenix form are very harsh. Even your mother only managed to learn it by chance when she was in the Nebula realm. She was already considered a miracle, but I didn't expect you to be even more miraculous than her. Simply, Hijinza wanted to use the word abnormal to describe him, but he felt that this word was not very good. In the end, he did not say it and just stared straight at Wang Lan. Colonel He, your mother and I were classmates. We used to have a good relationship, so you can call me Uncle He. I'm not an outsider. You don't have to be so formal. Uncle He, what happened to my mother? Is she dead or missing? Don't ask me about this. I don't know. Even if I knew, I wouldn't say it. All right, my mother left me a soul pearl and placed it in Annie's hands. After I awakened Takashi Hoshi, she gave it to me. The Phoenix form was engraved in the soul pearl, and I learned it. Hijin's eyes instantly widened like a bull's. Engraving Takashi Hoshi's innate talent in the soul pearl was not difficult to understand. This was considered a black technology in the eyes of ordinary people, but it was nothing to Hijinza, who had a lot of confidential information. There was a subject called spiritual engraving in universities. It taught how to engrave Takashi Hoshi's innate talent or some memory images into the soul pearl. However, you learned it? What kind of explanation was this? Was this an explanation? I asked you how you learned it. How the F***CK did you learn it? It was like when someone asked you for the method to solve a math problem. Did you just tell them the answer and send them away? How did you learn it? Hijinza felt that his heart could not hold it in anymore. I don't know. I absorbed the soul pearl, and the method to cultivate the Phoenix form was engraved in my mind. I followed the method and experimented and learned it just like that. It felt not too difficult. Not too difficult. Not too difficult. Too difficult. 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 The fountain pen broke, and the crisp sound was pleasant to the ear. Hijin's expression did not reveal his mood. Even the smile on his face was like a gentle breeze. However, the fountain pen in his hand broke, and the ink spilled onto Wang Lan's snow-white bedsheet. Sorry, the quality of the fountain pen is not very good. Hijinza, who had regained his senses, said awkwardly. The corner of Wang Lan's mouth twitched slightly. All right, you have a good rest. This time, you help the 3rd Battalion to destroy the demon's conspiracy. The regimental headquarters will give you a reward. You are still a student, and your military achievements will be recorded in the files. I heard that your studies are good. SOSO, Wang Lan said modestly. Hijin's hand was itching. Looking at Wang Lan's innocent expression and cute appearance, he did not know why he wanted to slap him. SOSO, only the best in the city. He thought of his little rascal. Forget it. I'll just go home and beat my son. Uncle He, seeing that Hijinza was about to stand up and leave, Wang Lan hurriedly called out. I think I've rested enough for the night that... When can I leave? You can leave now. Then I'll leave now. I came here with my companions. They must be worried because they wanted to help the Takashi Hoshi army. No problem. Wait a moment. I'll give you the proof. Not long after Hijinza left, Wu Changfeng walked into the room with a smile on his face. Wang Lan, how did you do it? What do you mean, how did I do it? Wang Lan was dumbfounded. To be able to make our regiment commander so angry, I haven't seen anyone do it in all these years. You're amazing. Did I make him angry? You must be mistaken. Our conversation just now was very relaxed and pleasant. I will tell him everything I know about his problem. All right. I heard that you're leaving. Isn't it done? Since it's done, I should leave. Otherwise, my friends will be worried. Well, there's nothing else here. This is for you. You can take it with you. Wu Changfeng said as he placed a backpack in front of Wang Lan. Wang Lan opened it, and there was a layer of soul beads inside. There aren't many soul beads, only 100, but this was gathered by our brothers. It's a token of our appreciation. How embarrassing is this? Are you going to decline? Then it would be impolite for me to decline. Thank you, Brother Wu. And thank you, brother soldiers. Wang Lan couldn't wait to interrupt Wu Changfeng. You really haven't changed your nature. What will happen to the southeast military region in the future? Let's talk about the future in the future. I'll think about it when I graduate. There's no point in thinking about it now. That's true. Outside the trial grounds, it was slightly desolate. Because the trial grounds were closed, there wouldn't be any Takashi Hoshi coming. The shops at the entrance of the trial grounds were also closed one after another. The outside of the trial grounds used to be as busy as a marketplace. But now, there were only 3 cars parked quietly at the entrance. Jiang Xinyu was wearing a sexy t-shirt and hot pants. She was wearing a gray sun hat. Under the hot sun, she hugged her arms and quietly looked at the closed entrance of the trial grounds. A cool breeze blew past, and Jiang Xinyu's long hair fluttered around her ears. Su Xiangwen and Gong Feiyu were sitting under the shade of a tree. They held a grilled chicken wing in their hands and sprinkled some cumin on it. Xinyu, the chicken wings are ready. Do you want to eat some? No need, Jiang Xinyu replied coldly. Don't worry too much. I've investigated. The Takashi Hoshi army station inside is from the Jinwu group. That's the Southeast Military Region's Fang unit. Also, Wang Lan is a Takashi Hoshi medic. He'll be fine if he stays at the rear. I know. Jiang Xinyu's words were still straightforward and emotionless. Where's Jiajia? How is she? She played with Feiyu for a while. She fell asleep in the hammock. I'm chasing away the mosquitoes for her. Oh, rumble. Suddenly, the door that had been closed for 2 days vibrated. Jiang Xinyu's eyes lit up. Su Xiangwen also put down the chicken wing in his hand and stood up. The metal door slowly opened. The door opened? Song Jia, who was sleeping, was awakened by the vibration and quickly jumped out of the hammock. The door slowly opened a crack. The dark white space-time light of the trial grounds leaked out from the crack. Jiang Xinyu and the other 3 opened their eyes wide and looked over. A slender figure appeared in the crack of the door and walked out step by step. The person carried a backpack and held a sword in one hand. After walking out of the metal door, he smiled brightly at Jiang Xinyu and the others. You're all here, waiting for me? Chapter 46. Seeing that Wang Lan came out unscathed, the ice on Jiang Xinyu's face instantly melted, and a gentle smile slowly bloomed on her face. Brother! Song Jia ran over cheering and bumped into Wang Lan's arms. Brother, Mom is very worried about you. Sister Xinyu is also very worried about you, and Sister Xinshin, and Brother Feiyu, Brother Xiangwen, Song Jia said anxiously with a red face. Jia, are you worried about me? Wang Lan rubbed Song Jia's head and smiled. Yes, most importantly, I'm also very worried about you. I knew you'd be fine. You punched Wang Lan's chest. You brat, trying to be a hero. That's right. You're making it seem like you're the only one who's not afraid of death, and we're the deserters. You should have told us earlier. We would have stayed with you no matter what. Boom! The metal door was completely opened. Behind Wang Lan, there were dozens of Takashi Hoshi soldiers led by Takashi Hoshi. Brother Ren, I'm leaving. You guys can go back. I'll treat you guys to a meal when I'm free. Salute! Suddenly, Takashi Hoshi shouted, and the 50 soldiers behind him stood at attention and saluted Wang Lan solemnly. This scene caused Jiang Xinyu and the other spirits to ripple. Their blood instantly rushed to their heads. In a daze, she saw the dazzling light on Wang Lan's body. Wang Lan was slightly taken aback. She hurriedly turned around and stood at attention towards the Star Warriors, returning a standard military salute. Song Jia quickly called Wang Qi. Just as he got into Su Xiangwen's car, Song Jia put his phone in front of Wang Lan's face. Hello, Ani. I'm fine. I'm not hurt. I'm fine. Okay. Brothers, Xinyu, let's go to Shanting Bay. Okay, got it. The car roared as it rushed out of the trial area's gate towards the highway, not far away. Little Aunt hurried home and saw that Wang Lan was unharmed. Only then did she feel completely relieved. He took Jiang Xinyu and the others to a restaurant outside Shanting Bay to celebrate. They didn't leave until late at night. That night, Wang Lan didn't stay at his aunt's house. Instead, he went straight home to Xinyu Building. His heart was finally at ease. Being a Takashi Hoshi for half a month was really exciting. Standing on a balcony, Fufu looked at the lights of the entire city. Sioux City was truly prosperous. Jade State was one of the 3 largest economies in Sky Blue Planet, and its economic strength was one of the best. Sioux City was one of the wealthiest prefecture-level cities in Jade State. It was filled with tall buildings and viaducts. Once night fell, it would be brightly lit. But under this prosperity, how many dangers were lurking in the darkness? 70 years of peace had made the new generation forget the cruelty of war and the bitter experience that had lasted for more than a century. But as a Takashi Hoshi, he couldn't forget it. From the adventure on the ring road to the experience in the primary trial field, it seemed like a small-scale event, but behind it was a far-reaching event that could change the world. Demons had once again bared their fangs at humans. The demons were moving in the dark. Wang Lan was born in the best era because this era was highly prosperous and human civilization was developing rapidly. At the end of last year, Jade State proudly announced to the world that they had successfully eliminated all the poor people. They had houses to live in, food to eat when they were hungry, and clothes to wear when they were cold. However, this was also the worst era. Just as the demons bared their fangs, the dark clouds of war suddenly shrouded the heads of this era. Less than 100 years of peace was about to end. After so many days of tension and excitement, Wang Lan was dispirited at home for 3 days. Eat? Take out? Exercise? No way. Takashi Hoshi skills? I'll think about it in 2 days. Beep, beep, the phone suddenly rang. Wang Lan lazily picked it up and glanced at it. Unknown number? Another sales call. He hung up. Just as he put down the phone, it rang again. It was still the same unknown number. Nowadays, salesmen were very dedicated. For the sake of performance, they would sometimes persevere until they got through. Wang Lan picked up the phone. Hello, I'm Wang Qianfeng, director of the Heavenly Sword Bureau's Sioux City Intelligence Department, a military intelligence agency directly under the Ministry of National Defense. Hello, Chief Wang Chu. I'm Nick Fury, director of the National Strategic Defense Attack and Logistics Security Bureau. What's the matter? The other party was silent for 3 seconds. I'm real. Well, I'm not fake either. Beep, beep, beep. Wang Lan smiled and threw the phone aside. He looked at the gradually setting sun and stood up to close the curtains. Ding dong, Wang Lan, you have a guest. Xiao AI, I didn't order takeout. Who is it? I don't know. He's pressing the doorbell. Do you want to change the screen? Let's change it. The screen in front of him suddenly changed, and then it showed the entrance to Wang Lan's private elevator in Sinew Building. A middle-aged man in a black military uniform was pressing the elevator door. Wang Lan's eyes instantly became serious, and he stared at the man's epaulette. Lieutenant Colonel. Xiao AI, help me check his identity. Checking. I'm sorry, there's no information about this person on the internet. However, I found a style of this person's military uniform. Does it match? Yes. The Heavenly Sword Bureau's uniform is divided into 4 grades: green, white, red, and black. This person's uniform and the Heavenly Sword Bureau's uniform have a 90% match. Heavenly Sword Bureau? Wang Lan thought to himself. He had dealt with the Heavenly Sword Bureau before, and this was the first time he was in danger. If the Heavenly Sword Bureau hadn't arrived in time, there would have been nothing left of him. The image of Tsang Xiaoma appeared in his mind, and what left a deep impression on him was her pair of long and slender legs. Hello? May I ask who you are? Wang Lan's voice came from the elevator door. I just called you just a minute ago. I can introduce myself. I'm the head of the Sioux City branch of the Heavenly Sword Bureau, Wang Qianfeng, a military intelligence department directly under the Ministry of National Defense. As he spoke, he took out his ID from his pocket. This is my military ID and ID. Xiao AI, is this real? Authenticity is 92%. It can be determined as real. Open the elevator. The elevator door opened, and Wang Qianfeng stepped in. Just as he was about to press the button, he realized that there was no button. The elevator door closed, and they went straight to the top floor. Wang Qianfeng glanced at Wang Lan's house, which was close to 500 square meters. Looks like you're living a good life. You live alone in such a big house. Yes. Actually, I don't like living in big houses. If I want, I can renovate the top floor into a home style. If it's too big, it'll feel like a haunted house. That's why I partitioned it into about 500 square meters. I still prefer living in a small room like this. Wang Qianfeng's mouth twitched, and his heart ached slightly. What would you like to drink? Tea, coffee? Give me a glass of water. Shout AI. A glass of water and a cup of coffee. Okay. After a while, a robot came from an unknown corner and brought the coffee and water to the side of the coffee table. Head Wang Chu, please take a seat. Do you know why I'm looking for you? Wang Lan shook his head obediently. I don't know. On the 2nd of July, you single-handedly thwarted the demon's conspiracy and saved 25 children and 7 adults. On behalf of the government and the Heavenly Sword Bureau, I award you the Medal of Valor and the Certificate of Good Citizen. As he said this, he took out a brocade box from his bag and placed it in front of Wang Lan. Wang Lan suspiciously took the brocade box and opened it. There was a medal and a certificate inside. In an instant, Wang Lan's expression changed. Ding! The medal's interface has been unlocked. First honorary achievement. Reward, 1,000 skill points. In the system, a brand new page popped up, and a glittering medal appeared in the first pane of the page. This medal was exactly the same as the Medal of Valor in front of him. Damn, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? No, this is... Wang Lan picked up the bank card on the certificate and asked. Of course, the reward isn't just spiritual rewards. There should be material rewards as well. There's 5 million in the card. Although it may not be much to you, you deserve it. Thank you. This is only the first reward. 3 days ago, you assisted the garrison of Tinglin Elementary Training Field and successfully defended it, thwarting the demon's conspiracy. What do you want as a reward? This. Wang Lan looked at Wang Qianfeng with twinkling eyes. How about giving me another medal? Cough, cough, cough. Wang Qianfeng put down his cup and hurriedly took out a handkerchief to cover his mouth. Student Wang Lan, medals aren't given out casually. You assisted the military, so even if you want a medal, it can only be given out by the military. Aren't you part of the military? Wang Lan asked as he looked at his shoulder. Although I'm part of the military, I'm part of the Heavenly Sword Bureau, which is a parallel department to the military. How about this? I'll reward you with a set of Takashi Hoshi techniques. Wang Lan's heart skipped a beat. He almost blurted out the word good, but he immediately suppressed it. Takashi Hoshi techniques differed greatly. Some Takashi Hoshi techniques could be bought for 100 to 200,000, while some Takashi Hoshi techniques couldn't be bought for less than 5 million. With such a huge contribution, don't even think about using ordinary Takashi Hoshi techniques to brush me off. Seeing Wang Lan's hesitation, Wang Qianfeng smiled faintly. You don't have to worry. The Takashi Hoshi technique I'm rewarding you with is definitely not something you can find on the streets. Furthermore, you definitely can't buy it at the Takashi Hoshi Hall. This set of Takashi Hoshi techniques is a B-rank Takashi Hoshi technique called Nebula Sword Dance. It's a technique that only Nebula Takashi Hoshi can truly master. Of course, only Nebula can truly master it. Star Blazing can also be learned. If this set of Takashi Hoshi techniques were to be put up for sale at the Takashi Hoshi Hall, how much would it cost? Wang Qianfeng looked at Wang Lan mockingly. Little rascal, don't even think about it if it's less than 8 million. All right. Just as he finished speaking, Wang Qianfeng suddenly reached out and tapped Wang Lan's forehead with 2 fingers. Relax your mind and don't resist. A powerful spiritual force invaded Wang Lan's mind. The Nebula Sword Dance Takashi Hoshi Technique's cultivation method, tips, and experience flooded into Wang Lan's mind. Discover that you can learn the Takashi Hoshi Technique. Do you want to learn it? Wang Lan didn't dare to hesitate and quickly confirmed. Please add skill points. F***CK. So evil. After tapping 100 skill points, the Nebula Sword Dance skill icon on the Takashi Hoshi active skill icon lit up. Nebulous sword dance, silver level 1, 0 out of 100. It's actually a silver Takashi Hoshi technique? No wonder it requires 100 skill points. Chapter 47. The Nebula Sword Dance uses the power of the stars in conjunction with the moves of the martial arts. The moves are unpredictable, and the movements are agile and graceful. It can also create illusions that confuse the enemy and kill them when they least expect it. Wang Lan quietly read the introduction of the Takashi Hoshi technique in the system. Wang Qianfeng looked at Wang Lan with a smile, thinking that he was comprehending the secrets of the Nebula Sword Dance. Wang Lan, you have plenty of time to slowly learn the Takashi Hoshi technique. I have other things to tell you. Oh, Wang Lan exited the system, and his eyes became clear again. Wang Qianfeng took out a form from his briefcase and placed it in front of Wang Lan. This is the Heavenly Sword Bureau's application form? Captain Wang Chu, I'm still a student. Don't reject it yet. Let me introduce the Heavenly Sword Bureau to you. Perhaps you've heard of the Heavenly Sword Bureau. In folklore, the Heavenly Sword Bureau is very mysterious, like a secret service organization. The folklore is a little exaggerated, but it's not too far off. The Heavenly Sword Bureau is under the Ministry of National Defense. It's classified as military intelligence, but it's also independent of the Military Intelligence Bureau. The Heavenly Sword Bureau is distributed in every prefecture-level city. Its main responsibility is to maintain regional security, defense, and stability. Just like what you said on the phone, strategic defense, offensive, and logistical support. Breaking it down, it's dealing with Takashi Hoshi's criminal cases, dealing with criminals that threaten the safety and stability of society, investigating demon spies and foreign spies, dealing with emergencies, and so on. I'm still a student. Although Wang Qianfeng's words made the Heavenly Sword Bureau's identity seem very mysterious and had a lot of power, Wang Lan still didn't want to fall for it so easily. In short, I'm still a student. You don't have to hire child labor, right? Student? Indeed. Wang Qianfeng nodded. You're still a student, only 16 years old. But at the same time, you're also a Takashi Hoshi, the guardian of human civilization, aren't you? That's true. But there are so many Takashi Hoshi students in the country. Why choose me? Because you're good enough, Wang Qianfeng said seriously, which made Wang Lan feel ashamed. Outstanding enough? If you have such poor eyesight, don't go out to fool people, okay? No matter how narcissistic Wang Lan was, he still had a bottom line. It had only been 15 days since he awakened, and he was a star-blazing Takashi Hoshi. If he were to be ranked by the number of days he had awakened, Wang Lan would definitely stand out. But compared to his peers, there were at least 200 people who were better than him in Sioux City. You're not looking for a true genius like Jiang Xinyu, but you're looking for me? You may be blind, but I'm not stupid. Do you think I'm flattering you? Yes, your strength is indeed not outstanding, but you've only awakened half a day ago. However, you've only awakened for half a month. If you were to compare your growth speed and potential, not to mention the entire Sioux City, even the entire Jade Nation wouldn't be able to compete with you. However, what I truly value is not your speed of growth or your talent. What I value is your awareness. A Takashi Hoshi, even if he reaches nebula and galaxy state before the age of 20, if he doesn't have the awareness of being a Takashi Hoshi and doesn't look at himself from the perspective of human civilization, he's just a baby in my eyes. I'm not pretending to be great, and I'm not the Virgin Mary you young people talk about. Self-interest is human nature. If a person is so great that he doesn't care about his own interests and loves the common people, I'll think that this person must have great ambition. A person's awareness is in the choice of understanding. When it comes to national righteousness, one will make the right choice. This is awareness. If we can't retreat, and human civilization is in danger, if no one stands up, who will protect human civilization? But why me? There are so many outstanding students in Sioux City. Moreover, isn't there the army, the wasteland reclaimers, and you? This is the issue of awareness I was talking about. Wang Qianfeng chuckled. It's human nature not to take the initiative to change. If everyone thinks like you, then the result will be the problem I just mentioned. When the demons invade and the butcher's knife hangs over human civilization's head, who will protect humanity? Doesn't that mean I don't have the awareness you're talking about? No, you do. Awareness doesn't come from words, but from actions. In the alternate dimension opened by the demons, there were 25 children crying in fear behind you, and there were fierce demons in front of you. At that time, you were only a beginner Takashi Hoshi of the heavenly body tier who had awakened for 3 days. In terms of strength, let alone killing 9 biochemical soldiers, 1 was enough to kill you. If you didn't have the awareness to protect humanity, you wouldn't have been able to kill 9 biochemical soldiers and wait until our rescue arrived. In my opinion, that battle was a miracle. Later on, in the elementary trial field, guarding the trial field was the job of the Takashi Hoshi garrison. Even if you were a medical Takashi Hoshi, and even if you had a powerful Takashi Hoshi skill like the Phoenix form, no one would say anything about you as long as you decided to retreat. That was war, and people would die. Once the Takashi Hoshi army failed, there would be no possibility of you coming out alive. You would be crushed in the space-time vortex along with the elementary trial field. However, you still stayed resolutely and believed that our Takashi Hoshi army would definitely win. Damn it. That's not what Wu Changfeng said to me. Wang Lan had a serious expression on his face, but he was roaring in his heart. You already have the awareness to be a human warrior, and that's what I value the most. Actually, in the trial field, Commander He Jinza invited me to join the Takashi Hoshi army of the Southeast Military Region. Old He? To hell with him. If we really wait for him to join the Takashi Hoshi army, it'll be too late. Wang Qianfeng, who had been maintaining a low and oppressive aura, broke down on the spot the moment Wang Lan said this. Ahem. Wang Qianfeng looked at Wang Lan's confused expression and coughed softly before continuing to calm down. Little rascal, you probably didn't agree to him, right? Moreover, I know He Jinza well, and he's not good at recruiting people. In other words, you're especially good at it? Back to the topic. I have a reason to choose you, and you also have the right to reject me. Although you should be at the age of naivety and romance, I don't know why, but I don't see any traces of naivety in you. Therefore, I know that you won't easily agree to him and me, and similarly, you won't rashly reject him either. Since you were very young, you gave me the impression that you were a little adult. You have a mind that far exceeds that of your peers, which is why your IQ isn't outstanding, but you can produce such a perfect report card. Wang Lan carefully glanced at Wang Qianfeng. What do you mean? Are you doubting my IQ? My IQ is at least 200. Don't let your imagination run wild. When you were 3 years old, your mother realized that you were extraordinarily intelligent, so she specially gave you an authoritative intelligence test. Your IQ is much higher than that of ordinary people, and you're a genius. However, compared to those outstanding high IQ geniuses, there's still some gap. For example, your good friend Jiang Xinyu, her memory, learning ability, and comprehension should be above yours. However, she only used 70% of her IQ, and you used 100%. You wouldn't waste your experience on boring things, so you became the god of studying in Sioux City. Okay, since you've already said this, give me a reason to join. Wang Lan leaned against the sofa and said with a helpless expression, War. Is that enough? Wang Qianfeng leaned forward slightly, his eyes looking straight into Wang Lan's eyes as he asked in a low voice. Through the incident of the ring road and the primary trial field, you should have speculated. Demons are active around us, and the purpose of their activities is self-evident. It's for war. Demons aren't barbarians, they're also a highly civilized race. They won't be unprepared and launch an invasion at the slightest disagreement. Every time the demons launch a large-scale invasion, history will only record the date and time when they launch the war. However, before that, the demons have already infiltrated the human world to gather information, corrode our internal structure, and make countless preparations for the invasion of the demon army. This preparation work can be very long, 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years. I don't know if you've watched a TV series recently called Takashi Hoshi Special Forces. No, I don't watch dramas. There's a plot in it. An instructor asked a soldier, "In your mind, what is the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces?" The soldier said, "The Takashi Hoshi Special Forces are the first to set foot on the battlefield and the last to leave the battlefield. They carry out the most dangerous missions and experience the most brutal battles. But let me tell you, the first to set foot on the battlefield isn't the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces, but our special forces on the intelligence front. We set foot on the battlefield many years before the Takashi Hoshi Special Forces. Similarly, we're the last to leave the battlefield because there are only 2 situations where we will leave the battlefield. Demons are eliminated, or human civilization is destroyed. War hasn't arrived in your eyes, but it has already begun in my eyes. In the future, if you choose to join the Takashi Hoshi army, when you go to defend your country, our intelligence front will be defeated and the demons will successfully invade. Our existence is to buy time for the human race to prepare and delay the arrival of a full-scale war. The longer this time, the better. It's best if it lasts forever. You're still a student now, but when the war really begins, all the people in the Jade State will fight regardless of age. What difference will there be between a student and a soldier? Being a student is not a reason to avoid the war. Is this reason enough? Wang Lan's breathing was heavy. He wasn't swayed by Wang Qianfeng's passionate speech and couldn't wait to get on the horse and fight 300 rounds with the demons. Wang Lan analyzed a few key points from Wang Qianfeng's words. The war hasn't started yet, but the demon spies have already started to act. The Heavenly Sword Bureau was in charge of catching the demon spies. The real war might not start so soon. It might take 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years. Combined with his own situation, how could Wang Lan grow to the level of star blazing in 15 days? How could he have a full set of silver skills? It was all because of the 2 thrilling experiences he had. Therefore, in order to become stronger, Wang Lan had to do something. No, he had to experience something. If he couldn't grow before the full-scale war broke out, he would be nothing more than cannon fodder on the battlefield when the war broke out. In order to become stronger quickly, he had to experience something. However, the 2 experiences that Wang Lan experienced would not be so coincidental. Therefore, if things didn't come to him, he had to take the initiative to find them. Joining the Heavenly Sword Bureau seemed to be the best choice. But I have to drop out of school? Wang Lan asked pitifully. No one can deprive you of your right to go to school, even if you join the Heavenly Sword Bureau. Even if I invite you to join, you will at most be a non-staff member. After all, you are only 16 years old. I told you from the beginning that I invited you because I have my eyes on you. Before you finish your studies, the Heavenly Sword Bureau will not force you to do any tasks. Chapter 48. Then why didn't you tell me that joining the Heavenly Sword Bureau wouldn't affect my schooling? If you had said it from the very beginning, you wouldn't have needed to waste so much time talking to me. What kind of place do you think the Heavenly Sword Bureau is? Applying for a job at a company? Although the Heavenly Sword Bureau isn't under the control of the military, we are still professional soldiers. You must have heard from Hijinza that the Jinwu group is the best of the best in Takashi Hoshi's army. But the Heavenly Sword Bureau is the real elite that even the Jinwu group wants to join. It should be an honor for you to join the Heavenly Sword Bureau. I'm not begging you to join, and I won't ask you to set any conditions. I, Wang Qianfeng, will never force you. Oh, Wang Qianfeng's aura was like an exploding wolf. In front of Wang Qianfeng's aura, Wang Lan was like a little sheep that had been forced into a corner. Sign it. Wang Qianfeng pushed the application form in front of Wang Lan and shouted, "You call this not forcing me? You look like you'll tear me apart if I don't agree. I've already filled out the form. All I'm waiting for is the final signature. I truly feel honored." Wang Qianfeng quickly signed the form. He snatched Wang Lan's form and took out another piece of paper from his bag. This is the registration notice. Go to the Heavenly Sword Bureau at 8:30 tomorrow morning to report. The address is here. Do you have any other questions? No. Then I'm leaving. Wang Qianfeng picked up his backpack, stood up, and turned to leave. The moment he turned around, a sly smile bloomed on his face. Director, take care. Director, be careful on the road. He closed the elevator door, and the smile on his face disappeared. He excitedly rushed into his bedroom and jumped onto his bed. Ha! I'm rich. Wang Qianfeng, who was in the elevator, also laughed like a Shiba Inu. He Dalong, you want to steal my girl? When have you ever snatched it? Even when it's already in your bowl, I still manage to snatch it away. That's why, as a person, why do you care about your face? Wang Lan quietly laid on his bed. Looking at the remaining 1,500 skill points in the system, he felt incomparably satisfied. Previously, because he only had 600 skill points left and he wanted to buy a few powerful Takashi Hoshi skills, he didn't dare to add skill points to his Phoenix form. But now, adding 500 points to the Phoenix form. Yup, although I wish I could uninstall this skill every time I use it, it's really nice when I can use it. What was left was to research the Nebulous Sword Dance. Although the Nebulous Sword Dance was only at Silver Level 1, it was at the same level as Wang Lan's basic skills. However, its power was definitely not something that an ordinary skill could compare to. This was because this was a Takashi Hoshi technique, the true killing power of a Takashi Hoshi. With 1,000 skill points, Wang Lan could do whatever he wanted. However, he still needed to maximize the benefits. Wang Lan took the elevator down to the cultivation room on the 3rd floor. Turning on the power, the lights instantly lit up. Connecting to the PS armor, the entire cultivation room was like a high-tech company's laboratory, filled with a sense of technology. Wang Lan took an 8-Geihan sword from the weapon rack and tried it out. From the feel of the sword, it seemed to be about the same. He closed his eyes. Because it was his first time using the Nebulous Sword Dance, he needed to go through how to use it in his mind. Suddenly, Wang Lan opened her eyes, and the sword in her hand danced. As Wang Lan danced, the long sword was like an unfurled fan, bringing with it a true afterimage of the fan. If it was a normal swing, it would definitely be impossible to create such a scene, as expected of a Takashi Hoshi technique. Not to mention its power, just the light and shadow effects were full of awesomeness. However, the Silver Level 1 Nebulous Sword Dance only seemed to be how to bring out afterimages to confuse the enemy. Was this the only ability? Then wouldn't it be too unworthy of a Silver Level ability? Without hesitation, he spent 100 points to upgrade the Nebulous Sword Dance to Silver Level 2. In an instant, his understanding of the Nebulous Sword Dance soared to another level. He also understood that the afterimages of the sword dance were only at the beginner level. How to use these afterimages as a sharp weapon, and how to effectively use the afterimages to hide the killing move was the true essence. In the blink of an eye, Wang Lan's sword danced. The sword light around Wang Lan's body blossomed into a silver-white sword chi that was like a beautiful stage light. Wang Lan's body was like a peacock dancing in the sword chi. After finishing a round of the Nebulous Sword Dance, Wang Lan exclaimed in surprise, "Sui Guai!" This time, not only did he effectively make use of the afterimages of the Nebulous Sword Dance, he also perfectly hid the killing move in the afterimages. Other than Wang Lan himself, no one else would be able to discover which sword was the real one. Thinking back to the sword technique Jiang Xinyu used, it seemed that his Takashi Hoshi technique could completely defeat Jiang Xinyu's sword technique. However, Jiang Xinyu's sword technique was not Takashi Hoshi's technique. So, completely defeating Jiang Xinyu should not be proud. One must be humble. Wang Lan smiled as he added more points, all the way until he upgraded the Nebulous Sword Dance to Silver Level 5 before stopping. The Silver Level 5 Nebulous Sword Dance basically meant that he had grasped the usage of the Nebulous Sword Dance. The rest was probably just a matter of time. If he upgraded the Nebulous Sword Dance to Silver Level 9, then he would have completely grasped the Takashi Hoshi technique. With the remaining 500 skill points, Wang Lan could definitely upgrade the nebulous sword dance to the peak. However, for the sake of maximizing his benefits, Wang Lan still held back. There were so many silver level 1 basic skills. This was the lower limit of his strength. He could not ignore it. The next morning, Wang Lan changed into a short-sleeved windbreaker and left the house. The Heavenly Sword Bureau was located in the Hudong district. That place was where the administrative and financial centers were concentrated, and the people who went in and out were all high and mighty people. However, no matter what, Wang Lan did not feel that it was flourishing. Not to mention the commercial plaza. Even small supermarkets and small stores were rare. Walking down the street, there were all kinds of agriculture headquarters, industry and commerce headquarters, construction headquarters, or some financial consulting center. The Heavenly Sword Bureau was not easy to find. He did not find the address on the map, and when he reached the Wangxiao Road written on the paper, he did not see Wangxiao, row number 1. Wangxiao Road started from number 2, and number 1 of Wangxiao Road was Zhongling Park. After walking around for more than 10 minutes, Wang Lan gritted his teeth and walked through the garden. Finally, he found a group of buildings behind the garden. Damn, wasn't this hiding a little too good? Also, the straight line distance between number 1 and number 2 was more than 1,000 meters. Okay? If Tao Yuanming were to transmigrate here, he would be moved to tears. I'm just living in a human realm without any traffic. You're the real hermit. Hello. Where is the registration? Are you here to register? Take this elevator up to number 2 meeting room on the 3rd floor. The pretty lady at the front desk smiled gently. Okay, thank you. Wang Lan could not help but take another look at the lady. It wasn't that this young lady was very pretty, but her smile was too professional, wasn't it? And the way she mouthed just now, why did it feel a little strange? The elevator went up to the 3rd floor. Wang Lan carried his bag and walked out of the elevator with a registration form in his hand. Number 2 meeting room. Number 2 stop. Suddenly, a young man in a suit appeared in front of Wang Lan and blocked his way. What are you doing? I'm here to register. Register? You're late, go back. Wang Lan looked at his watch in surprise. It was 8:10. He was not late. You don't need to explain. What kind of place do you think the Heavenly Sword Bureau is? The Heavenly Sword Bureau only needs the most elite Takashi Hoshi. If you can't even be on time, no matter how talented you are, you don't deserve to be called an elite. Looking at your young age, you must be a genius who has always been praised, right? But you're too naive if you think you can join the Heavenly Sword Bureau just because you're a genius. Everyone in the Heavenly Sword Bureau is a genius. Now turn around and go back. You're out. The young man did not give Wang Lan a chance to explain. He turned around and was about to leave. Wait. Wang Lan smiled as he looked at the back of the man in the suit. Can I say something? You've already said that. The man turned around and said coldly, the registration time is 8:30. It's now 8:30. You scolded me for 2 minutes, but even so, I'm still early. 8:30? Our registration time is 7:30. Your eyesight isn't good. My eyesight is 1:5. It shouldn't be wrong. Wang Lan held the notice in front of the man. The man took a step forward, covering a distance of 3 meters with each step. Wang Lan was shocked. The Heavenly Sword Bureau was indeed full of hidden talents. He had seen Takashi Hoshi use the same footwork in the training field. Takashi Hoshi said that this was the Takashi Hoshi technique from the military, the moonwalk. Although it was just a set of footwork Takashi Hoshi techniques, the requirements to learn it were very high. One had to have a fine control of astral power to learn it. But this man in front of him looked like he was in his 20s. Could he have been in the military? You're not here to register. The man looked at the form in Wang Lan's hand with a hint of disgust in his eyes. You're here to register. The registration is on the 4th floor of the Human Resources Department. Oh, thank you. Wang Lan kept the invitation and walked towards the elevator. Wait a minute. Who recruited you? Wang Lan turned around and looked at the man in front of him suspiciously. He said, he's the director of the Intelligence Department, Wang Qianfeng. Okay, got it. Wang Lan entered the elevator and pressed the button for the 4th floor. Along the way, Other than the lady at the front desk, this was the only living person he had met. But this person gave Wang Lan a bad feeling. His attitude was cold, and his words were harsh. Was the Heavenly Sword Bureau all like this? That couldn't be right. Zheng Xiaomao was very cute. Wang Lan smiled bitterly. The elevator door opened. Walking out of the elevator, he finally saw men and women in military uniforms coming and going. He walked past the signs and arrived at the Human Resources Department. "Hello, I'm here to register. Come in." "Hey, handsome, what's your name?" Behind the computer, a round-faced lady poked her head out and smiled gently. Her smile was very beautiful, leaving two shallow dimples at the corner of her mouth. "Wang Lan." Little Missy quickly operated the computer and said, "Yes, there is." Then she picked up the phone and dialed a number. "Hello, Chief Wang Chu. He's here. Take a seat first. Wait here for a while. Someone will come to pick you up soon." The round-faced lady asked Wang Lan to sit on the sofa by the side and poured a glass of water for Wang Lan enthusiastically. It seemed that the one downstairs was really different. Not long after, Wang Qianfeng brought a somewhat roguish young man to the entrance of the Human Resources Department. "Wang Lan, come with me." "Oh, aren't you here to register? Where are you going?" "To assess your Takashi Hoshi level. I'm star blazing. Can't I just open the Star Palace?" Wang Qianfeng stopped in his tracks and turned to look at Wang Lan. If opening the Star Palace can assess Takashi Hoshi's level, then what's the point of fighting? Two people can just open the Star Palace, and the lower-level person can just kill himself. Chapter 49. Wang Lan followed the fatigued youth to the testing grounds. A circle was drawn in the middle of the grounds, and the other party stood in the middle of the circle. "My name is Su Shiyun, and I am your tester. We will fight in the circle. I will not use Takashi Hoshi to bully you while you can use Takashi Hoshi as you wish. The rules of the test are simple. Either you knock me out of the circle, or I knock you out of the circle. You go out and fail the test. I go out and pass the test. Understood?" "Understood. All right then, let's begin." "Wait. Speak. Can we use weapons?" "Sure, what do you want?" "Give me a 40-meter-long broadsword." "Pooh." On the second floor of the testing grounds, Wang Qianfeng, who was watching the competition through the monitor, immediately spat out the water he just drank. "Ha ha ha." Beside him, the head of the operations department, Li Weixin, who was also wearing a black lieutenant colonel uniform, laughed heartily. "Old Wang, where did you find this kid? Haha, what a talent." Su Shiyun's face immediately darkened. "This circle is only 5 meters in diameter, and you want a 40-meter-long broadsword? Then what's the point of fighting? Tug of war? No. Then can you give me a 10-meter-long spear? If you really can't, a 3-meter-long sword should be fine, right? I will give you one last chance to make your request. Otherwise, we will begin. Give me an ordinary 8-sided Han sword that can cut through iron like mud." Su Shiyun silently nodded. 2. Very quickly, a staff member brought 2 8-sided Han swords to the battlefield. Wang Lan pulled out the Han sword and lightly swung it. "Isn't it able to cut through iron like mud? It's just an ordinary high-carbon steel. Don't ask for too much. This is the standard weapon of the Heavenly Sword Bureau. We use this to kill our enemies. Are you ready? If you are, we will begin." "All right, old Wang. What do you think this kid wants a sword for?" "His information seems to say that he uses a broadsword. You said yesterday that you imparted the nebulous sword dance to him. Could it be that he has already learned it? How is this possible?" Wang Qianfeng switched to another cup of coffee and took a light sip, shaking his head. The nebulous sword dance isn't a simple Takashi Hoshi technique. Learning the nebulous sword dance requires a very high control of star energy. Furthermore, one must be incomparably proficient in the transformation of star energy. Even if Wang Lan's talent is extraordinary, it will be very difficult for him to grasp the surface of it in a day and a night. At the beginning, Su Shiyun's graceful movement technique stabbed toward Wang Lan. This sword was like a fencing move. He took a step forward and stabbed out as fast as lightning to kill the enemy. Wang Lan's eyes were solemn. His figure flashed and dodged the sword. But in an instant, Su Shiren's sword technique poured over like a sky full of stars. Su Shiren's strength was at the middle stage of the nebulous stage. From Takashi Hoshi's level, he could crush Wang Lan, so of course he had the confidence to be arrogant. From the sword technique that Su Shiren displayed, Su Shiren's basic combat ability was also very outstanding. It was much higher than Jiang Sinyu's. But even if it was higher, Su Shiren's strength was a nebula. His basic combat ability was also at the silver stage. If Su Shiren's sword technique was specialized, he would at most be at the peak of the silver stage. Wang Lan's close combat movement, and close combat broadsword were all at the beginning of the silver stage. There was an insurmountable gap between the silver stage and the gold stage, but the gap between the silver stage could still be seen. So although Su Shiren's attacks were sharp, Wang Lan could barely rely on his nimble dodging and close combat broadsword blocking to block Su Shiren's continuous attacks. What a solid basic skill. Li Weixin's eyes suddenly lit up. He's a Takashi Hoshi in the early stage of star blazing. A kid who awakened his Takashi Hoshi talent less than a month ago actually has such solid basic skills. This basic skill is comparable to some of the professional Takashi Hoshi in the nebulous stage. Of course, someone who can catch my eye is certainly not an ordinary person. To be able to hone his basic skills to such a level, even if he hasn't awakened it in these years, his understanding of martial arts is already very advanced. But if he's so strong in close combat, how could he have almost been killed in the alternate dimension that the demons opened up? With his current strength, those biohazard soldiers shouldn't have been able to block one of his attacks, right? Old Li, you've forgotten two things. First, Wang Lan was barehanded in the alternate dimension. He didn't have a weapon in his hand, but he was able to kill 9 biohazard soldiers in a row. It's impossible without a solid martial arts foundation. Another thing is that he's already learned star blazing. Even if he had comprehended it before, he couldn't use it because of the limitations of his body. Now that his body's limitations are gone, he has room to use the martial arts he once comprehended. Look at his dodging and blocking. This requires strength, speed, and reflexes. Without these, he can't do it even if he knows how. But he's using the 8 Gates Han sword as a saber. Does this kid think he can act cool with a sword? In the battle, although Wang Lan successfully blocked Su Shiren's continuous attacks, he was also in a dangerous situation. More importantly, he was forced to the edge of the circle and would soon be beaten out of it. Suddenly, Wang Lan's body swayed. With his feet as the center of the circle, he tilted his body like a roly-poly toy. With the support of the 8 Gates Han sword, he instantly broke through Su Shiren's blockade and returned to the center of the circle. Damn, this move is really a stroke of genius. Li Weixin's eyes lit up. This kid actually has such adaptability. If he didn't have such adaptability, he would have died long ago. Yo, are you testing the newcomers? Suddenly, a voice came from the door. Another lieutenant colonel in a black uniform walked into the monitoring room. Lauer, what are you doing here? Nothing much. The law enforcement office received a report that someone took advantage of the Heavenly Sword Bureau's expansion to secretly plant people. They didn't even need to go through the test. So I'm here to verify. Wang Qianfeng's face darkened. You're talking about me? Yes, right? Where's the person you planted? What's his name? Wang Qianfeng pointed coldly at the monitoring room. That's him. Isn't this a test? Who said he didn't need to go through the test? Him. He Mingshue's face changed when he saw Wang Lan. You poached him? Wang Qianfeng's lips curled up. He Dalong wants to snatch him from me. Even if he's pulled into the army, I can still poach him. What's more, he's already in my bowl. The testing field seemed to have returned to square one. Su Shiren raised his sword and looked at Wang Lan with a smirk. That was a beautiful move. However, there's no time limit for this test, so stalling for time is meaningless. Let me remind you, I don't like to use swords. They're too brittle, they're not refreshing at all. As he spoke, he tossed the sword out of the field. Give me an alloy bat. Outside the field, a staff member nimbly tossed a silver-white bat into the field. Boom! There was a muffled sound like the sound of shot put hitting the ground. Wang Lan's heart skipped a beat when he felt the vibrations coming from beneath his feet. It's solid, smart. It's made of solid SKD 61 material with a hardness of 65 degrees. With your small body, you'll probably be reincarnated if you get grazed by it. Su Shiryun waved the bat in a relaxed manner. If you know what's good for you, step out of the circle. Otherwise, you'll be beaten very badly. Do you mean what you say? What? You said that you can't use Takashi Hoshi, but I can. You talk a lot of nonsense. As soon as he finished speaking, a gust of wind suddenly exploded beneath Su Shiryun's feet, and his figure instantly charged toward Wang Lan. In that instant, the spiritual energy around Wang Lan's body surged, and the sword in his hand instantly released more than 10 rays of light. The sword's shadow was like a curtain, brilliant and beautiful. The expressions of the 3 people in the monitoring room instantly froze when they saw this scene, especially Wang Qianfeng, whose expression of disbelief was especially fascinating. Old Wang, didn't you say that he wouldn't be able to grasp the nebulous sword dance so quickly? Old Wang, you even taught him the nebulous sword dance. Wang Qianfeng took a deep breath before coming back to his senses. I just taught him the nebulous sword dance yesterday morning. How could he learn it in a day? From what I know, the fastest record for this Takashi Hoshi technique is 3 days. As expected of her child, what a genius. Lao, don't use the word genius so easily to deny other people's hard work. No matter how talented Wang Lan is, if he wants to grasp the nebulous sword dance in a day, he must have practiced nonstop for a moment. Perhaps he practiced for the entire night last night. However, it's a pity that it's impossible to defeat Su Shiryun with a baseball bat just by relying on the shadow sword technique. Su Shiryun's crazy demon bat technique can only have a chance of victory if he grasps the nebulous sword dance. Dang, dang, dang. During the test, Wang Lan's sword was hidden in the sword shadow that filled the sky. The battle situation instantly changed, and Wang Lan's every move was strong, appearing and disappearing mysteriously. However, Su Shiryun's bat danced like a ball. In Su Shiryun's eyes, all he could see was Wang Lan's sword's light. However, in Wang Lan's eyes, all he could see were the shadows of the bat. The difference was that Wang Lan's sword's light was created by using star power, while Su Shiryun's shadows of the bat were created by dancing at high speed. The whistling of the wind was ear-piercing, and the buzzing of the wind made Wang Lan feel as if he was surrounded by countless bees. No matter which angle Wang Lan attacked from, Su Shiryun could perfectly resolve it. Suddenly, Wang Lan's figure gradually became hazy. Not only did the sword's light flash with shadows, but even Wang Lan's body also began to flash with shadows. Seeing this scene, the 3 people in the monitoring room couldn't keep a straight face. Mingxue looked at Wang Qianfeng sincerely and asked, Old Wang, explain again. How did he cultivate the shadow sword technique? Well, the shadow sword technique is actually the same as the shadow sword technique. To cultivate the shadow sword technique, one needs to evenly distribute star power to every inch of the sword and treat it as a part of the body. At the same time, one needs to have an extremely high ability to change the shape of the star power, creating a sword shadow while hiding the real sword in the shadow. The shadow sword technique is the upgrade of the shadow sword technique. It needs to evenly distribute star power around the body to achieve a perfect balance. And it also needs the body to have the characteristics of the shadow sword, creating an illusion in between reality and illusion. F***, I can't make it up anymore. How is this possible? Wang Qianfeng didn't want to explain anymore. F***, such a difficult operation requires both physical memory and control to be able to do it. It's not that Wang Lan shouldn't learn it, but it needs time. It's only been 20 hours. A normal person would need at least 10 to 20 hours to comprehend the cultivation method, right? It's impossible to comprehend, try, cultivate, and complete it in such a short period of time. At this moment, Wang Lan's figure suddenly danced, spinning rapidly around Su Shiryun's body like a spinning top. At the same time, Countless swords light enveloped Su Shiryun like stars in the sky. When this scene appeared, Wang Qianfeng completely gave up resisting. All right, I admit, he's a genius. A true genius. Chapter 50. Su Shiryun was forced to retreat and was about to leave the circle. Suddenly, Su Shiryun's body exploded with surging astral power, and he forced Wang Lan back with his astral power. Nebula sword dance break. Su Shiryun held onto his baseball bat and looked at Wang Lan, panting. At this moment, Su Shiryun no longer had the arrogant attitude he had before. Instead, he looked more dignified and respectful. Although Wang Lan was only at the early stage of star glory, and he had already reached the middle stage of nebula, being able to reach star blazing at this age meant that his future achievements would not be limited to nebula. Fortunately, Su Shiryun did not know that Wang Lan had been awake for a full 15 days, or else he would have kneeled down. He's cheating like this. Aren't you going to do something about it? Wang Lan pointed at Su Shiryun, facing the camera. We agreed that he won't use Takashi Hoshi. Not using Takashi Hoshi doesn't mean that he won't use star power. What's the problem? Is there a difference? Wang Lan asked. Have you ever gone to school? Don't you know the difference between star power and Takashi Hoshi? If I don't use star power, do you think my strength and speed can keep up with yours? If I don't use star power at all, I'm just an ordinary person. How can I fight with Takashi Hoshi? Sorry, I really haven't gone to school. Wang Lan raised the eight-faced Han sword in his hand. Damn, this sword is already full of holes and can't be used anymore. Kid, you do have some skills. Show me what you've got. You've worked so hard, and it'll be a pity if you still fail the exam. All right, Captain Su, be careful. Wang Lan's eyes suddenly became sharp. He held the eight-faced Han sword in front of him, and star power surged around him, forming a rotating halo around him. It's fake, right? In the monitoring room, Li Weixin didn't even notice that the coffee in his hand had spilled. He stared straight at Wang Lan's seemingly still but turbulent aura. Is this also a move of the Nebula Sword Dance? Old Wang, why haven't I seen you use it before? This was a high-level technique of the Nebula Sword Dance, right? Are you sure this guy isn't a monster? Why don't we bring it back for research? He Mingxue asked stiffly. That doesn't make sense. I don't even know how to use it. Wang Qianfeng was dumbfounded. He really didn't learn it before. It can't be wrong. He couldn't have learned it from someone else. He only learned it for one day. One day? Impossible. No matter how high his IQ is. Even I don't know this kind of technique. The Nebula Sword Dance is passed down in my family. So there's no reason that I don't know some techniques, right? Could it be that he developed it himself? That's not right. It's only been a day, this. At this moment, Wang Qianfeng was completely immersed in philosophical thinking about who he was, where he was, and whether this world was real or not. On the screen, Wang Lan's figure instantly turned into countless afterimages. His footsteps were fixed in every corner of the three-dimensional space, and even the void was his platform. Su Shiryun's face was full of seriousness. Suddenly, the metal bat started to dance violently. Not being able to use Takashi Hoshi was a huge disadvantage, especially when facing Wang Lan, who couldn't be judged by common sense with star blazing. At this moment, Su Shiryun only wanted to say one thing in his heart. Mother Faster's is this star blazing? Aren't his fundamentals a little too solid? He didn't seem to have any shortcomings that star blazing should have. His strength level and strength level almost overlapped. Fortunately, Su Shiryun also had an advantage, and that was his star power. Star blazing star power was several times that of the heavenly body tier, and the difference between star blazing and nebula stage of star power was like heaven and earth. Even if I can't use Takashi Hoshi to suppress you, I can still use my star power to kill you. When you run out of star power, I'll beat you up when you're down. Huh? Suddenly, Wang Lan's body turned into a rapidly spinning drill. Like a gust of demonic wind, he slammed into Su Shiryun. You want to burn your boats? Too naive. Su Shiryun's star power erupted, and the alloy bat suddenly burst with starlight. Boom! This blow exploded and a gust of wind swept in all directions. The hats of the staff members around the test field instantly flew into the sky. Su Shiryun's body couldn't help but retreat. His feet were firmly planted on the ground, and two deep trenches were formed on the ground. Just as he was about to be pushed out of the circle, Wang Lan's star power was used up, and the Gale Wolf Fong turned into a breeze and disappeared. Hee! What a pity. Just a little bit more. 1-inch punch. Suddenly, Wang Lan, who had landed from the air, didn't stop at all. The moment his feet touched the ground, he suddenly rushed in front of Su Shiryun. Facing Wang Lan, who had no star power left, Su Shiryun was proud. You don't even have star power, and you still want to beat me with your weak fists? I'll just stand there and not move. Wretch. Although Su Shiryun was protected by star power, Wang Lan's 1-inch punch was something that could even destroy a beginner demon weapon. The silver-level 1-inch punch had long surpassed the traditional 1-inch punch. Even Huang Feilong, who taught Wang Lan 1-inch punch, couldn't understand how powerful Wang Lan's 1-inch punch was. With star power alone, it was impossible to stop the 1-inch punch. Therefore, Su Shiryun arrogantly took Wang Lan's punch and bent over like a shrimp. In the monitoring room, Wang Qianfeng was speechless as he slapped his forehead. This is too embarrassing. This is the general of my intelligence department. The captain of the intelligence department, Su Shiryun. He actually made such a stupid, low-level mistake. If he wasn't arrogant, if he didn't take it with his body, even if he didn't dodge, he wouldn't have been beaten so shamefully, right? Lying on the ground, twitching and vomiting bile, how could he still want this guy? Test passed. Defeated someone a higher level. Reward: 100 experience points, 10 skill points. Completed the test. Reward: 500 experience points, 50 skill points. The broadcast and the system prompt sounded at almost the same time. Wang Lan breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Su, are you okay? Don't call me Brother Su. I'm not weak at all. Call me Big Brother Sure. Ouch. Your punch is an ancient martial art? I didn't expect. I was careless. Whether you're weak or not, is there a need to talk about the current situation? Wang Lan's mouth twitched. He reached out to help Su Shiryun up and put him on a seat to rest. Come with me. Wang Qianfeng had already arrived at the testing area. He didn't even look at the groaning Su Shiryun. Wang Qianfeng brought Wang Lan to the Human Resources Department and received a special mobile phone, a work ID, 2 sets of military uniforms, and 2 sets of plainclothes Zhongshan suits. Wang Lan opened his work ID. Heavenly Sword Bureau's Intelligence Department employee number, Su E asterisk 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 asterisk. Seeing this 7-digit number, Wang Lan's mouth twitched. License plate number? No. Of course it's a bit like a license plate number. The last 5 digits are your Sioux City number. Oh, come with me. He thought that Wang Lan would leave after completing the formalities, but he didn't expect that Wang Lan would be brought to Wang Qianfeng's office. In Wang Qianfeng's office, there was another person elegantly brewing tea. Wang Lan felt that this person's appearance was familiar. Hilao Air, you open my cabinet? Old Wang, you have such good tea, but you're hiding it. That's not nice. It's a waste for this tea to fall into your hands. Come, try my handiwork. As he spoke, he suddenly smiled at Wang Lan. Wang Lan, don't be shy. Sit. This attitude made Wang Lan even more confused. He was a lieutenant colonel, the same rank as Wang Qianfeng. If Wang Qianfeng was so polite to him because he appreciated his talent, then this person in front of him made Wang Lan feel that he was very special in the eyes of these people. Wang Lan, let me introduce you. This is He Mingxue. He's the brother of He Jinze. He's the head of the Heavenly Sword Bureau's Law Enforcement Department. Hello, sir. Wang Lan immediately saluted. Okay, there are no outsiders. Sit down. He Mingxue smiled faintly. Are you confused? Do you feel that I know you? Yes, a little. I've seen you when you were very young. The reason why Wang Qianfeng and I are in the Heavenly Sword Bureau is because of you. 8 years ago, old Wang and I were your mother's subordinates. Wang Lan's face showed that he knew it. It really was related to his mother. My mother, what's her situation? This is the second time you've asked this question, but I don't mind telling you a second time. We don't know, and we can't tell you even if we know, Wang Qianfeng said faintly. Then can you at least tell me if she's dead or alive? Wang Lan said impatiently. She might still be alive. I can only say that she might be. Okay. Wang Lan gave up. It was impossible to get anything out of these two. Sir, do you have any orders? If not, can I take my leave? There's nothing much. I just want to let you know that after joining the Heavenly Sword Bureau, you have people above you. If you have any difficulties or encounter any trouble, you can tell us. We'll take care of you. By the way, since it's our first meeting, how about I give you a set of Takashi Hoshi? What? Sure. Wang Lan agreed obediently after a brief moment of astonishment. She didn't hold back at all. You're quite direct. You're a soldier. There's no need to beat around the bush. You're quite used to your identity. But a soldier isn't called a soldier just because he's wearing a military uniform. Military clothes, military skin, military bones, and military spirit are all indispensable. You're the fire attribute. The Takashi Hoshi skill I'm going to teach you is called Flaming Blade. It's a transformation of the fire attribute. You can release flaming blades through your fingertips. The temperature of the flames can be raised through training. Flaming Blade has 7 different colors of flames. Of course, the power of each is different. This is an A-rank Takashi Hoshi skill. It's quite powerful. Are you satisfied? Satisfied? He Mingshue's figure flashed and appeared in front of Wang Lan. He pointed 2 fingers at Wang Lan's forehead. In an instant, the knowledge of Flaming Blade was imprinted in Wang Lan's mind. After an unknown amount of time, a notification popped up in his mind. Learnable skill discovered. Would you like to spend skill points to learn? Isn't this nonsense? It's as if I can learn it without spending money. After spending a bunch of skill points, he successfully learned the Flaming Blade skill. Have you memorized it? He Mingxue asked with a smile. I've memorized it. Wang Lan nodded. Have you learned it? He Mingxue asked out of curiosity. But in an instant, he laughed to himself. How could he learn it in an instant? It wasn't like elementary school math questions, where he could know the answer with a glance. Although the principle of Flaming Blade was simple, it required a thorough understanding of the transformation of the star power. Then, one had to be able to perfectly stabilize this transformation and release it through the meridians of the hand. Without a period of hard training, let alone releasing Flaming Blade, even releasing Flaming Hand would be chi. Wang Lan put his 5 fingers together in front of his body. A ball of flame shot up from Wang Lan's fingertips. However, it wasn't the kind of flame that rose up. Instead, it was a flame that resembled the nozzle of a flame cutter. In front of Wang Lan's fingers, it formed a 1-foot-long, triangular red flaming blade. That was the crisp sound of jaws dropping to the ground. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.